Dark Side of the Moon.
Back in Black.
Okay, Computer.
The Money Store.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
The Joshua Tree.
The
The official Minecraft mixtape.
Welcome to Tune Fever, baby.
All right, what you got? What's up, you guys? Everybody on YouTube, you know we back at it again. It's your boy T Holladala and your boy Joe P. Joey P. Lil Joey, dog.
Little Joey.
Like a little baby kangaroo, but more sexy. Look at everybody. Look at. All right, anyway, I got my beverage because I'm just so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just lit, see?
Yeah, I'm always lit.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, we have the best album of all time to talk about today. I mean, when I say all time, I mean it. I am being serious. I am saying this with intention, and I intend to convert everyone in the world who says that any album is better than this. And this is something that me and Joe feel the same way about. So we're going to really express our thoughts about this album. Joe, when did you come across this album?
So I found this album on YouTube channel, the Squad Family. By the way, these guys they make great videos anyway, but I didn't know they made music. And this, Minecraft mixtape, every single song is just, it's perfection.
Fire.
And like, dude, it's like straight fire, like fire emoji, clapping emoji, you know, all of those. I'd give it like, you know, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it like the 100 emoji out of 10. Like, I love everything about it. And like, like you said, we're dead serious. This is musical perfection. I don't want to say like never, but I don't think anything in humanity will ever even approach something as perfect and as artistically engaging as this here. Right. Not just in music, but in any medium, in film, right. in anything.
I agree. It's like their artistic vision. It's literally like so grandiose. It just like totally destroys anything I've ever freaking heard of.
It really does. Like
I literally enjoy it so much. Like see this? I have so many CDs just.
Oh yeah, you do.
Dude, I've literally never touched a single one of them, and that's where this comes in. So for our audience, like, so there was one CD ever made of this album, and I don't have it, but somehow, like, I literally don't understand how this actually worked, but just let them know, Joe.
Here it is, the official Minecraft mixtape, and this is the album cover. You've got the Minecraft characters, and they're on the street, and you got the little SSF logo.
Actually, it kind of reminds me of the cover for Abbey Road. Do you think that Abbey Road was inspired by this album cover?
Dude, I agree. That's actually one thing I was going to point out, you know, because people point out the Beatles as the greatest band ever, but I think they were so inspired by our music that they literally took inspiration from our album cover here with the road on the back.
Yeah, the Squad Family, I just think they were really ahead of their time. They really like set a lot of trends. Like they used auto-tune when like no one else was doing it. Like they sampled when like no one else was doing it. Like, I mean, like there's just so many like forward-thinking ideas, and just like on this album, there's just so much here. Like it, in a way, it's kind of like a mixed bag, and it can feel a little disjointed at first, but once you really get into it, it's just such a like rich collection of just like artistic merit, like all in one place. It's like going to like the Smithsonian. It's literally like a museum tier level, like amazing artistic experience that like I think you would agree. We just really recommend this to our fans.
I cannot recommend this enough. This is perfect. Another thing about the actual the disc or the disc case here, the back of it, because it's blank, it reminds me of the Yeezus album cover by Kanye West, and that album is another one. While not as near as good as this, it's so ahead of its time and so amazing. It's again, nothing is as good as this, but that Yeezus is one of the best albums ever. And so the fact that that I would argue again, Kanye West was inspired by the Sasquatch family in creation of his disc.
And dude, like,
there.
just consider, like, Kanye is literally like on the cutting edge of everything. Like
I know.
a guy like Kanye would be into this. Like, he was into like he put the King Crimson sample into the song Power. You know? Like,
Yes.
that's the type of guy who's like forward thinking enough and like on kind of like the cusp of what's like really gonna like be popping in the future. Like, he's just always there, and so of course he would definitely be into this and take inspiration from the back cover of this disc, this case. And you know, another thing that I actually noticed was when you look at the Minecraft spell out on that disc. Go ahead and show the people.
Right here?
Like, you see that? Every time I see the Metallica logo, it actually reminds me of this.
Oh, you're right.
Right.
So, and that's actually another thing that's like super interesting because, you know, I mean, obviously we're counting down, you know, so many artists who have been inspired by this, but Metallica being a metal band, and that's like this group, the Sasquatch family, has brought together across so many genres because you got these like, you know, classic rock acts like the Beatles, you got, you know, rap and, you know, like you said, the cutting edge Kanye West, and then even bands like, you know, Metallica, who this would be influential to.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so good for the Sasquatch to be able to relate to so many people. Now that being said, you do have to have a really high IQ to be able to understand something like this. But when you understand it, it's super good. Like, it's honestly like the greatest album of all time by far.
Dude, I definitely agree. I mean, this is one of those things that like you really just need to like sit down and like approach this album with like a very real sense of just like, I'm gonna sit here and just really like focus on taking this album in.
Oh yeah, you have
like,
to.
Like an album like this, I mean, especially in our time, because like who's making good albums now? Like, it seems like everything's like classics, but then this comes out and it's just
I know.
it's like better than everything. Like, so never let anybody say, like, if you ever hear anyone say, this is for the audience, if you ever hear anyone say that there's just no music coming out, or like if somebody says like, I was born in the wrong decade, you ever heard people say that stuff?
Yeah, I hear that all the time actually.
Right, like people who say that stuff, like show them this album and it will absolutely change their mind. Like, that's the thing. Like just like but definitely like don't go into this lightly. Yeah, and you know, like especially for your first experience, like please like use headphones or like some high quality audio.
You need like either really nice headphones or like a really, you know, high quality stereo system. You know, we're talking like, you know, really expensive speakers. I mean, and that's the thing, like it's a lot to take in and try to understand, but when you do, like it is life changing. Like I would say that this album changed my life.
Yeah, definitely, me too. And actually, I kind of made the mistake of like hearing it on headphones first, but then like later I actually heard it on like a hi-fi system at my friend's house who has $30,000 like cables. Like,
nice.
Out here, and like I literally passed out 10 seconds into the first like song. I understand like
I'm just so I'm just so emotional by
honestly,
no, literally,
it's
like
overwhelming. Like I get that you like find that you know that like if you experience that, like you would understand. But like I know that you have the CD copy actually. See, I actually have it downloaded to my phone.
Oh, cool. Yeah, there it is.
Right. So like I have it digitally, but since you have the CD, like obviously CDs like have less data lossage.
Right.
Like your CD copy, like digital format, is like it's probably like better than mine. Like, so I mean, this CD that you like, I could imagine after we upload this video, people are gonna be like hitting you up for this CD. Like,
I know. So. And that's the thing. I think the Sasquatch, they're selling these discs. There's limited supply, but they said in their description, but then they said in the comments that if they reach enough likes on, I think it was like 100 billion. If they get 100 likes or 100 billion likes on their video, that they will release their album on vinyl. Which vinyl is such a like, you know, transcendent experience anyway. For like, for people to musically take in and understand that like I can't imagine what that would be like. So definitely, you're gonna listen to this anyway because you the audience, are gonna go on YouTube and look this up. We're gonna link in the description of this video, the entire mixtape. But when you do, smash that like button. So because that is what will do even better for the entire world. For the world to experience this album, this disc on vinyl would be like, oh man, it'd just be so incredible. Like I don't think like anyone would be, like you said, you passed out. Like I don't think anyone would be able to take it because of how good it is.
Dude, that's the thing. And like, yeah, it's exactly like you said, like vinyl is like obviously better. Like, you know, like our ears, like we hear analog. So like, why would we want things to be digital? Like when we hear,
or why would you not listen to analog? Like,
right. So like a vinyl record, it's obviously so much better because it's an analog format. Like, and then the other thing that people like don't really like pick up on about this album, but like we do because like we have like such like trained ears from listening for like so many years. What you might notice is that this album is actually tuned to a different frequency than most music. So most music is actually like A440 that, but this album is actually an A432, which resonates with more like heavenly bodies and like kind of like crazy frequencies. So it's like this album is kind of like therapeutic in that way. Like it's like healthy to listen to. And like, could you imagine that on vinyl? Just like,
dude, I can't even fathom like the experience, what that would be like. And then I like you mentioned it being heavenly because it really is like out of this universe. I would say out of this reality of how just infinitely perfect this album is in every possible way. The only thing is, I mean, it just makes me wish, if there was one thing about it, I would say I wish there were more songs, but for the songs we have, they're so perfect that I can't complain about that at all because I love it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just like waiting for the next release because like this material is, I mean, it really could hold me over for the rest of my life. Like I've literally thought about selling my whole CD collection. Like, and I've thought about,
honestly,
I've thought about selling my house so I could like offer you a sum of money. I know. I've thought about offering you a sum of money for the CD that you have.
You would so let's do it. So you would sell me your entire house for this CD.
I'm not sure. I've just thought about selling my house so I could get enough money to offer it to you.
So, gotcha.
You know, I don't know. I'd probably more easily sell like myself than my house.
Sell yourself. Well, that's also, you mentioned selling your CD collection. I guess if anything, because like you were saying, like, and before you mentioned you don't touch any of your, I just dropped my phone. You don't touch any of your CDs. That's the one thing because like it's so, just awesome that it kind of ruined all music for me because anything I listen to now, even things I previously loved before, like I don't like, not that I don't like, but I just can't get into it because it's not the most overwhelmingly awesome thing of all eternity.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
So like, that's one thing about the album. It's so good. It sets the bar so astronomically high that no other music in all history can even compare.
Right. And see, that's actually something, like the coronavirus is going on right now. And that's like really serious. And like, I don't want to like necessarily like fool around with this. Like, and I don't mean to speak flippantly, but like, I'm literally glad that it's going on because it gives me more time at home. Like, I don't have to go to my classes. I don't have to go to school to take these exams. Like, I can stay home and I can just like enjoy my time listening to this album with like my wife. And like, that is like a real bonding experience that's like genuinely meant a lot to me in my life. Like I just like learned so much like since I've been hearing this album and like, I don't know, it's like changing my perspective.
For sure.
But,
yeah.
Dude, maybe we should get into the album now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so like there's something like I think we could go track by track and probably really dialogue on our experience with each and every song because it really is like each and every song is like a whole new experience. Like we were talking about like so many different genres. Like I've never heard this many genres in one place ever. Like literally. So like this let's just get into it, man. So the first song on the official Minecraft mixtape by Stuff Squad Family is none other than Minecraft Leafa.
Oh, dude, the first song alone is like, I would say better than most bands' entire careers. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. I
and
mean,
that's track number 1. That's like the first one. Like,
I remember I heard the intro, just the intro of that song. Like, you remember I was telling you about 10 seconds into the intro of track 1 on that hi-fi system.
Right.
This is the one that made me faint. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, that was so crazy. Like, I literally passed out. Like, I heard those like that like synth come in at the beginning, you know, and then like just like the audio quality of that synth, it's like it's so perfect because like it's kind of like lo-fi in just like the right way. It's kind of like if you go on YouTube and you see like those that like lo-fi hip hop music. That's
oh
like,
yeah, lo-fi trap beats to chill and to study to.
yeah, like it feels like that, but more grandiose because it's like so chill. In a way, it's like the chillness of vaporwave combined with like the grandioseness of like a full piece like orchestra. Like,
Yeah.
this really sounds amazing, and they accomplish that with like a single lo-fi synth tone, and then they add on top of that some of the greatest quotes in all of human history. No, I'm like, they even added the Joe Biden quote, which I thought like that was so cutting edge of them to do. To quote Joe Biden saying the "you know the thing" line.
You know the thing.
And they quote, I don't even know how they got this audio recording of Abraham Lincoln saying this line.
Yo, I know, because like obviously in like, in the, 1700s when Abe Lincoln was alive, like
Right.
the audio quality or the recording technology wasn't that good. So like for them to take that and somehow just make it crystal clear of Abraham Lincoln himself in the 1600s, like that's insane.
Dude, it's literally like, I don't understand how they went forward in time. Like, they're so ahead of their time, but they're also so behind the time. Like, at the same time.
I think it's because they're literally like so existential or so, like I said, out of this universe that they basically are.
Presence.
Yeah, it's omnipresent. Yeah, exactly. That's the exact word I was looking for, because they are literally time and space itself. Is how good this is. Like, this is basically like, I don't even know. I can't think of the words to describe it. I'm just so overwhelmed. But yeah, that omnipresent being that is so spiritual and holy and like I can't even describe with words how amazing they are.
It makes me feel like really bad for deaf people who are never going to get to like experience.
I know. I almost want to like play this for someone who is deaf, because to see if it has like healing powers or if it can give them the ability to hear or something, because I think it could.
It does, and it like science is actually studying like that resonant frequency of 432, A432.
Oh, you're right.
There is like some research that's like suggesting that it is gonna be able to make deaf people hear, but it's like not conclusive yet. So
sure.
Like,
well, if there's anything that could do it, it would be this album. Like that's what you'd have to play for someone, because anything else is like it might not cut it, but this is like it's something that, and plus if deaf people, like when they get to hear for the first time, like they would get to hear the best thing ever. So that's good too.
Yeah, listen guys, like we're literally 10 seconds into the album, so we got to keep going. Like, but this is like, all right, but then, okay, so you have like this intro. And then you have actually the guys after the historical quotes, you have the guys who are in Stuff Squad Family, like the members themselves, who have like achieved legendary like celebrity status by this point. Like, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna be inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2021. And see, like,
they have to.
That's actually like a huge honor. Like, it's such a big deal. Like, I'm hearing a lot of buzz around it, like in the music business right now.
Right.
I'm just really excited for where they're going to go in the future. But anyway, like these guys, they like have these quotes, and they're like helping us to understand is basically what they're doing. They're basically just like helping guide us through this like spiritual journey that is this album. Because at the beginning of the album, they say that like it is finna be so lit.
Oh, dude.
And then they like talk about themselves listening to their own album and how they're gonna turn up right now. And then the other member of Sasquatch family agrees with him, and he says, "Me too." And so I just think that that's like really like a powerful message. Like we could like emulate that in like our lives. Like we should like, you know, just like be lit for this album and like turn up right now and like listen to this album. Like I'm considering just like stopping the stream and like that we're doing right now and just like listening to this album just because it's like it's like a lesson that I'm learning, you know? Like it's literally changing my life and like my perspective. So
And I think it works too, because like I cannot physically listen to this without getting to that point, or I can't listen to this and not get to, and get to that point and not turn up. Like I have to. Like I feel like if I didn't turn it up at that point, it would be a crime against humanity.
yeah, and that is like the thing. Like I've heard that they're making laws about this.
Good. They should.
This came out and it changed everything. It's like the next epic of like culture. Like you think about like when you look through history, there was like the invention of like the covered wagon. And like I'm serious though. Like
no, for sure.
The invention of like the steamboat and like canals. And then there was like the invention of like the railroad and then the car and then there was airplanes. And like these things did so much for society that just like changed it all. And then this album happened. And like when you think about all of the other things that I just mentioned, like cars, airplanes, like railroads, how many laws had to be made about all of those things to allow them to like function within a society without being a crime against humanity? And I think that's what we're really coming to with this album. Like just its release, like it's kind of like shaking up the entire world. It's like solving a lot of problems, but it's also in a way like creating new and interesting problems. Like we're really on like a new frontier here.
Yeah, and it'll be really interesting to see where this goes and how people are able to handle it and handle the societal response to this, because no one's going to know how to respond or what is, is appropriate, or what is a good way to interact with this album in like a legal sense. So I really hope that our lawmakers, the current administration, or and even if we get a new president, whoever that is, I hope that they, even if I may disagree with them, I hope that they're able to make the right decisions for our country and for our world. Because guys, like this literally, this album, I actually have my phone too. This album is like the future. Like this is our world right here. It's like so world changing.
Well, I also love that you're saying this is our world and this is our future, because I think that this album is actually like unifying the globe. Like in such like a crazy way. Like I never could have seen this coming. Like and it came just at like the perfect time too. Because like you think about it, like coronavirus happens and like then this album happens and it's like I don't know, like
no, you're right.
Like,
actually
it's like the forethought of Sasquatch family to release this at like the perfect time.
Like they knew it was coming, and they knew they had to do something to, like, you see those pictures of like, there's like the planet and then there's the children of like every ethnicity or whatever, and they're all holding hands, they're all surrounding the globe. That's what this album is doing. And actually the reason I got distracted just now while you were talking was literally because like I just was thinking of how awesome that song is. I just got it in my head and I was just like, I just stopped. Like every fiber of my entire being, every like single cell just froze at how magnificently perfect this is. I wish that like I could have a surgical implant like in my head and my brain that would like be continuously playing this album on a loop, like just forever, so I can always have it in my head, so I can never stop listening to it, because that's how perfect it is.
Dude, exactly. And like sometimes like I have this like theory, right? So like whenever you go to bed and you like dream, that you can actually like listen to songs in your dreams.
Right.
So when I go to bed at night, like I've been researching a lot about like ways to induce like what's it called, lucid dreaming, like ways to induce that, actually, like things to like diet changes that you can make before you go to bed, or like positions to sleep in, like really interesting things like that.
Really?
And I've been talking about it a lot with my wife recently, and she and I have been really realizing that like we waste so much time when we're sleeping, because like normally we just sleep and then like we just let whatever dreams happen. But like you can actually control your dreams and like use your time in the dreams and like put them to good use. And that's like you can be so much more productive. Like you see all these guys on YouTube talking about like you need to be more productive. You know, you like this is how to make 6 figures in a year, and it's mostly just crap, right? But something like this, like you can put so much more time into listening to this life-changing album if you just understand and like you apply these like various techniques to like to sleep and like listening to these songs actually in your sleep. And one more thing before we move on. I like that you mentioned the globe with everyone holding hands, like with the ethnicities. Like, I think that this album is like, I'm just going to come right out and say it. This album is single-handedly ending racism. It's ending misogyny. It's ending xenophobia.
Dude,
like,
this is
so many things. Like that
you're right.
Yes. Like, there's so many problems in society right now. Like, you just like, look across the street and there's like a woman beating her dog. Like I literally don't even understand that. And like, you know, like you shouldn't even be outside anyway. Like,
I know.
But like you like look out your window and there's like 5 kids in a dumpster playing a game. It's like that's unsanitary. You like
it's unacceptable.
You like go on an airplane and there's like a guy literally sitting next to a girl manspreading. He has like so much like the gall to freaking do that. Like there's so many problems in this society, and like this album, I'll say this: before this album, I did not know how these problems were gonna end. Like I was looking to channels like BuzzFeed, like you know, I was like around, and that was like my only hope, like because they make videos and like Vice, right?
Yes, they're so good.
And they like make these videos. And they're like about like things like that are relevant topics, but like the problems weren't getting solved. But this album comes out and like what happens, but we're like all at home. Like these problems are getting solved. Like I can see it, like it's noticeable.
Totally.
Like I see so much less of these societal problems in society because everyone like is home listening to this album. Like, oh my goodness, like why are not more people not talking?
I know, we need to spread the word, get even more people listening to this, talking about this. You know, this is the greatest album of all time. We've already covered that like time and time again. But I would even go on to say this is the wokest album of all time. Sure. Like it, because of the problems, every single problem you mentioned and how it is fixing everything. Like when I watched The View and all those like women, those leaders.
Yeah, like The Talk too.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. They're both excellent. Television programming. You know, when I watch shows like these, they have a lot of great ideas, but you know, there's not a lot of practical use or things being put into practice to solve these problems. But like this is the answer. Like this will do it for every corner of the entire world. Like every single person is going to be affected by this, as long as we just have to get the word out. We need to get more people to hear this. You know. Everyone now obviously like finish this video, but when you're done with this video, go listen to this album right now, because it will literally, and then when you're done, I don't care like what time it is, what you're doing, listen to it again and then again and again until it just becomes a part of who you are in your own existence.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I want to touch on the thing that you said about woke there at the beginning. See, in society, like I was talking about some problems, I was afraid that like we were like losing the meaning of the word woke. Like there was just woke was splintering off into so many different directions. Like nobody even knew what it was anymore. And like one person would say, oh, I'm so woke. And then someone else would be like, well, I'm dummy woke. And like, you don't know who's woker. But like this album, like I'm serious. That's what we see. It's crazy. Like the problems in society are all being solved by this album. Like, including this, like woke has found a new meaning. Like we literally like resurrected the term from that rubbish heap that it was in like this political landscape. But like again with the unity, it's bringing it all together. Like people are reaching the aisle more than ever to like think about the policy that's being written for coronavirus. Like all these stipends and things, like $2 trillion plan to like help unemployed citizens in this country. Like that's amazing. And like you see so many people reaching across the aisle and like helping each other out. And like oh, just the timing of this album is just impeccable, you know. Impeccable. Let me take a deep breath.
Yeah, I need to calm down. But yeah, like, you know, you think of every person, you know, people who can help in this really hard time right now, like people in the grocery stores, you know, running the country and making sure people have food because people don't know if they're going to survive. Like that is every single one of those people, but in a musical form is what this has done for humanity. And it's the thing is, even when this isn't a problem, like with the coronavirus isn't a problem anymore, this is still going to be life-changing or world-changing for every single problem that has ever existed and will ever exist. Like when you talk about like poverty and like, you know, people who are like malnourished and because they don't have any food at all and they die when they're really young, like in other countries and stuff, like this is the answer to that. Like this will solve that for every single person. And people say like, oh, we can help people, but we can't help everyone. But like, no, like this is the answer. This will save every single person in the globe. And I know that's a bold statement, but that's the 100% truth. Like we're talking like 100 emoji. Like that's like the biggest thing to think of right now in terms of a political, like also like you think of every person that is in war right now and every conflict, like, you know, in the Middle East or in like, you know, I don't know, like anywhere that people are fighting or killing each other, like any terrorism at all, like this will prevent that from happening ever again. Like I can't even fathom it. Like it's insane. But just the fact that this is happening in our lifetime is just like, oh man, yeah, I don't even know, guys.
It's foolproof. It's like you said, like, but people need to spread this word. Like
I know.
So I'll say like the other day, I went to Walmart and I saw some people who were talking about this album and handing out booklets. And I asked them where they got the idea, and they said that they kind of took the Jehovah Witness format.
Yeah, for sure.
Taking the magazines and giving them to people for free. And they took that format, and they've actually been telling people about this album and that you can stream it for free on YouTube, which is that by itself. Like what like a gift to society.
I know.
Guys are giving. But anyway, yeah, they like took this format and they were like at Walmart actually distributing these pamphlets full of like information regarding like this music. Like I just thought that
God bless. Like those are like some of the best people. Like those, when we look back on this in history, when we look back on 2020 and we look at the positive things that happened, people are going to be saying, you know, these are the people who are on the front line spreading the word. It's kind of like you talk about the early Christian church, like in the New Testament, and how like, you know, it was illegal to be Christian in a lot of areas, and these people would hide and they would, yes, dude, like prayer emoji right there. Like,
big up.
Like, yeah. But like,
praise God for this mixtape.
I know, right? This is literally like, it's the exact same thing. People are going to look back on these, I guess, Jehovah's Witness type people in the same way that they look, or that we view the early Christian church. Sure. For being able to spread the word and being persecuted and being martyred, and all those people who are, you end up being like executed and stuff. Like that's huge. And obviously I know this isn't like, people aren't being like executed over this, and so it's different, but like it's the same idea, because it's the most like powerful thing of all time here. And like if you knew about this, like why wouldn't you share it with people?
Yeah, that's the thing. And actually, like it's really crazy. So if I could just share my screen for a minute.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Does it show?
I'm still seeing us right here.
Oh. Okay, I think I'll do it like this. Is it shared?
Oh, it's just saying, yeah, I see the YouTube. There it is. All hail. The Minecraft mixtape official.
If you guys can see this, like I don't know if you guys can see this, but like look how many people disliked the video, and then look at how many people liked the video.
Literally. Oh, dude, it just got one more. It's spreading.
Dude, see, that's crazy. Like literally, like as we're sitting here, like it's getting more likes. So like I just thought like that was worth sharing, because like the people who know about this, like they really know. And like if you hear anyone talking about this, like please have a discussion with them and like guide them in the right direction. Like this album really is that important. But maybe we should get back to the songs.
Yeah, let's get back into it.
So actually, whenever Minecraft Letha, whenever the intro's over and the song drops, can we just talk about that transition?
Yes, that's actually, it's one of my most favorite parts of Well, I mean, I was gonna say it's one of my most favorite parts of the entire album, but every single nanosecond on this is my favorite part. But that in particular really stands out because it's, you like, I don't even know how to describe it, but like the way it moves into the actual song Minecraft Lefa, it makes you want to listen to like the entire thing. Like,
Yeah.
as if the intro didn't like already like sell you on this, this is what will like this is what, like, you hear this and you will already be wanting to devote your entire life to this album.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I feel about it. Like, you hear that transition and it's just so grand. Here's what it's like to me, right? It reminds me of like you're like walking towards like the pearly gates of heaven. And then like the transition happens and that's literally like it's just true for me. It's like when the gates are open. Like this feeling, that's what it's like. It's just like such like a content feeling of like knowing that you're like present and like in that moment, and the energy is so strong, and like I'm all about energy.
Oh yeah, positive vibes all the way.
Exactly. And like when you're like really manifesting that, like you're experiencing this portion of the album and like you're really manifesting that energy into your own life, like it's really going to carry over. And so I just think that that's like such an important teaching or like an important lesson to really get out of this moment. That's what I get out of it.
Oh, no, for sure. Like, I think this is the closest we will ever get to heaven on earth. Like, oh man, it's just so good. And even there's just this one transition is like, you're literally, like you said, you're walking and then you're just like there. And like, oh man, and you're literally being invited into heaven, which is the rest of the album right here.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
That is God tier, bro.
Yeah, dude, like literally, like you've got like, S tier and then God tier and then like literally like 500 trillion more tiers, and then there's like this tier. Like it's literally like I don't even know what to call it. Like I would call it like infinity tier, but like even that's like not enough to describe how, just eternal it is.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't even know how to wrap my brain around that, but I just like accept that as truth, and then I just like manifest. Yeah, like I manifest that into my life, and like I just, I live under that like perspective, and that just like really helps me grow.
Oh yes.
Just like in so many ways, like it like pushes me to become a better person, to like cause less harm in the world, and like sometimes I'll like throw away trash like in my truck, and I'm just like, why would I not just like put that in the trash can? Like, just like little things like that. Like,
it's like, it's little things that are going to save the earth. And if we get everyone talking about this, then they'll want to continue that. And we will save the world, is because of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like the best, most refreshing feeling ever, knowing that like, the Sasquatch family, they blessed us with this, this work that is going to, like, I don't even know, like the reason I keep laughing is like, I can't physically handle my emotions. Like, it's just so, powerful to me. And it, like you said, that perspective, like it just becomes a part of who I am.
Yeah, I feel that, like that energy. I really resonate with that. Be sure. So like, as you're going into the song and you're like taking in the lyrics, you're getting these messages about Minecraft, right? Like talking about.
I'm crying again, but I'm listening. Sure. I'm gonna get through this.
Like, you're talking about things like the blocks and like.
Oh yes. Oh.
Alex, it's so lit. Like, when you think of Minecraft, what do you think of but like utopia? And so like when you're listening to this mixtape, like this is where like the Minecraft lyrics really start like pouring in, and they just like really envelop you, like just like a wave of like so overwhelming, and it just like makes you feel this like euphoric like utopian sensation, and it's just too much. Honestly, it's just too much for me to even handle, just like as a mere like mortal being, like just existing on this rock in the universe. Like I feel like such a speck of dust when I just consider like how these lyrics really wash over me, and they just like really, man, I just don't think that like I can live enough lifetimes to really.
Oh no, for sure.
Because
like that's the thing I said, I want to be hearing this on a loop in my head forever. Even that's not enough. Just think about that. I try to wrap your mind around that. Like literal eternity is not enough because of how freaking amazing this album is. Like,
You're hurting my brain.
I know, like I can't, like you said, I can't wrap my head around it. Like I can't even begin to even try to maybe even remotely fathom its immense power. Like
it's just such a stretch. It's like such a challenge. Like in a way, it's like yoga because like you're like participating in these like intense and like poses, and you're just being so mindful and like you're just aware of everything. Like it's literally so amazing. Like I personally have never had a Kundalini awakening before, but like, you know, like regardless of what you think about those things, like I know that can be controversial, but actually this album is not controversial in any way.
True.
Like you know, like you listen to this album and it is literally like an out of body experience. Like you just like put this album on, and if you just like allow yourself to like manifest that energy, all of a sudden you'll just be like astroplaning. Like
literally,
like upstairs in your bedroom, like listening to this album on headphones, and then your body will just like lift up out of you. You could like go downstairs outside of your body and like get something up like from the fridge and literally walk up the stairs. Like this intense level of like pro tier astroplaning. Like this is possible. Like people don't understand like they say we only use 10% of our brains, but I'm convinced that this mix, like I don't have science to back this up. I just have experience, but I just want to like communicate to you guys like my experience. Like that's really what we're doing here is we're like, this isn't really like an album review. This is like an album experience review. Like we're really just overviewing like our experience. Like just keep it in mind, like our experience. So like we have these experiences that we've experienced, and yeah.
You know, you talk about, you know, it was Buddha who preached about reaching nirvana, like this, you know, enlightened state. And this is that. I mean, this may have been, you know, because this is so timeless, this is probably what Buddha was talking about, because it is just the most enlightened thing in all the entire universe. Like, it's just the most transcendent, you know, mind-blowing, mind-exploding thing. And it, you know, like you said, you literally float out of your body, like your soul, it captures your soul and takes you to a new realm of existence.
I actually think I'm having an experience right now.
Oh, bro. You gonna pass out?
No, I'm okay. Okay.
Yeah, I know I keep falling. I don't know, like we have to keep going like with the other songs if we want to tell everyone, you know, what they need to know about it, because like obviously if you just listen to this, like you may not understand it at first, but like we're here to help you guys. Like we do this for you guys, and we want you guys to know that, like, you know, you can go through this and you can learn, and you know, like yeah.
We considered doing this in like a series of videos that like covers each track individually, like per video, but
we could too.
We wanted to put it all in one place because like we look to say like religious traditions or like mythological like traditions, and like the way that they compile all their texts into one place.
Right.
Really inspired by that, and so we wanted to make this video and just go track by track and just really like analyze it. And like I have to be honest, like right now I'm having like a hard time like not like transitioning to my altar. Like I'm
I see.
I'm like having a hard time staying in my body. Like it's crazy, but
I'm still having a hard time breathing, like, because I just my body cannot physically take how just perfection this thing is, and just everything related to it in every way, because every second is just better. Every single second is better than the entire history of music in every possible way. And I know that's an insane thing to say, but it's the truth. And I don't have anything that, you know, any reason for this. I just know because I've listened to it enough, and it's something that has affected me personally in so many ways.
Sure, dude. I so vibe with that. Yeah, man. Like my heart is like racing right now. Like I don't know, but all right. So like next in the song, like what actually happens is like there's a verse from actually like a female character, and
the female feature on this one.
I actually thought that was really woke to do, you know?
It is woke. It's caring.
Yeah, you know, you didn't have to like include a girl, because I don't think that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there's like a girl in SSF right now.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just the guys and So yeah.
Yeah, so I think that they're definitely like themselves, like, you know, they're people, they're humans. And so like we all have like problems. And so it makes sense that it, like, you can see on this album, like not only are they like affecting great change, like socioeconomically, like in the world, but
Of
they
course.
themselves are going through positive changes and like being more inclusive towards women. Like I really think that that's beneficial. Like that's really what I get out of this. And I think that this is maybe one of the main points on the album where you really get that anti-misogyny.
Right.
You know, just like it's very pro women. It just like promotes them. And like, there's even the line about the woman talking about FIFA. And like when
Yes.
think FIFA, they think like the men's soccer. But just like for a
The
woman,
woman playing FIFA is like that's such an insane statement. And like, again, like we said, it's just so ahead of our time. Like we can't even begin to understand it, but like it's true and it's there. And it's literally like, you know, when I listen to this, I think of it as scripture, and this is what the scripture is telling us.
yeah, and think about it. Like if I were to just ask you, what's the most popular sport in the whole world?
I would say soccer.
Well, see, it's actually called football. Football. So you have to be,
Football, right.
so just keep that in mind for our viewers, just be inclusive. But like, so like you think about like a woman talking about FIFA being the most popular sport in the entire world. This is a unified like world talking about like women's issues. Like I don't know about you, but like I have taken women's classes in my liberal arts college, and like, you know, like women's health issues, like things like that.
Right.
Like I've even taken like other types of classes. They're like also like woke, like
Super woke.
I took like a fat studies class, like about
Oh,
like,
nice.
obesity and things, and
Mhm.
like about how you should not be ashamed about that.
Right.
That is one way of living a healthy lifestyle, for example. Like so like I hear these things in these classes and they're pretty good, but they're like not affecting change. And they're also like not unifying the world.
Right.
But like a message like this, you just consider talking about FIFA, and FIFA is like this
Oh man.
football sport. This that just brings the world together.
No, it
Like,
really does.
I mean, you think about like the FIFA World Cup, like every year, like there is, like I don't.
No, you're right. And the fact, like, my major is in philosophy and gender studies. So, like, you know, this is something that I think should be taught in schools because it's another way to get the message out there. And it's another way for people to know about these issues and what kind of things that these SSF, Sus Squad family is doing to promote positive change on an international scale. It's just because, like, obviously, like you said, you know, FIFA is literally every single country in the world playing football,
Literally.
trying to be inclusive, literally. And so for women to be playing football is on such a large scale. Again, it's like that picture I mentioned earlier with the world and the children, they're all surrounding the world, they're all holding hands. That's exactly what this is. Yeah, I love it. And I'm totally going to present this to my professors, my other liberal arts students. And yeah, it's such a huge thing. And I've never seen an album like this that has done something like this before.
Can I just say two things related to this educational point? So two things. Number one, like if you are interested in using this YouTube video for like your class, and I'm speaking to the audience, like if you're interested in using this YouTube video, like for educational purposes, like do so for free. Like this is our gift to you guys. Like please do so. Like we want to do whatever we can.
We ask you to.
Yeah, we do. Like we literally like take this. Like this is a gift for free. And we're just like, we're gonna upload this and then just like put it into your hands and just really trust that you'll do something beneficial with it in your life. And then number two, I just want to speak to like the archaic nature of schooling right now.
Right.
Like textbooks. Like who even reads textbooks? Like I don't even know where my textbooks are, and I'm in college. Like that's just like not like the 21st century. Like that's so 50 billion years ago to me. Like going through college. But like you think about it, like you were talking about how this needs to be taught in class, and it got me actually thinking when you said that. Like I actually, like my brain was just started working, and like you could say like my spidey sense even started tingling.
Oh
like,
yes.
The metaphor. So yeah, but like like you think about like the archaic nature of the education system right now and how there's so many like flaws and like everyone in politics is like arguing about it. But like I got this thought, like, what if we just got rid of textbooks and because textbooks, they're so archaic.
I would agree with that.
Nobody uses them. And then like you move from textbooks to this audio format of the Susquad family, the official Minecraft mixtape.
Yep.
I mean, everything you really need to know to be happy, healthy, wealthy, like everything, it's in this mixtape. What more do you need to know? Like, I'm sick of hearing people's excuses. Like, some people say, oh, textbooks, some people learn really well on textbooks. Well, guess what? I guess you just haven't looked at the research yet that shows the comparison between the Susquad family disc and textbooks. Like, just because you haven't looked at the research, like, you should. That's like people
I'm gonna grab something.
Denying climate change.
Okay. All right. So like here's wait, were you still talking?
Yeah, I was gonna say like this is like people who are denying climate change, like science deniers. Like these people, they literally they will go against anything for like their own causes. Like everyone has this like agenda, but like we all just need to set our agendas aside and just like come together unified over this like one unifying principle that is the Susquad family album, the official Minecraft mixtape.
Dude, amen. Like, dude, I want to see you like in church, on the pulpit, just preaching that. Except we need to get like the Pope to preach this because he talks to like 100 billion people every day or every Sunday. And his Twitter. Absolutely, yeah. If the Pope were to tweet something like this, like think of how many lives it would change. But the reason I was like, so what would you rather? Oh yes, the Twitter, dude. Like God bless. Like that's the Twitter bird right there.
Yeah,
it is. So what I was gonna say, like, what would you rather? Like, would you rather look at this thing?
What is that?
I don't even know. Like, I haven't opened this once all semester. Like this or this. Like. I mean, because this is worthless. This doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
this
is communication theory. Like, what even is that?
Like, I don't even know. I don't know what. Like, I don't know how to communicate with people. But if I listen to this, I would know everything I need to know about communication theory, as well as everything else in the entire world that I could ever even think of knowing. Because that's how perfect it is.
Like in a world where we have subjects like women's studies and gender studies and fat studies and these sorts of things, like what is even the point of like a textbook about communication?
I know, like who cares?
The priorities are just so bad right now.
No, I agree, and I could say that with any single textbook I have, which I don't even know what their others are called because I haven't looked at them at all. So
and neither has anyone else. You're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to be sure, like we can feel frustrated because we feel alone. Like we see this like textbook and we're just like, I don't even know what to do with that. It might as well just be like a concrete like brick or something.
Dude, that's literally what it is. It's just a paperweight at this point.
Well, I think it's more than that. I think it is that physically, but then I also think it's like a metaphorical, just like a weight on our lives, like just weighing you down. It can suffocate you. And so like with this Minecraft mixtape, like this can liberate you. I'm serious. Like we have like this like liberating message that we really want to communicate, and just like set aside every weight and just like really embrace this mixtape. But maybe we should move on with the maybe we should go to track 2.
Yeah, let's go to the next song on here. Right. So I guess the first thing. Well, since it's called Minecraft, but there's actually, it's 2 different words, mind, space, craft. And so something like that, because obviously when you see Minecraft just as one word, like that alone is like, it's stretching your mind because that's not something you would normally ever see. Like nobody calls it Minecraft because like, Minecraft is one word, but something like, and I don't know, it's just, it may seem like not a big deal, but like it literally is, you guys. So
yeah, well, it's so striking. That's the thing to me. Like when I saw it, I was like, what is going on? Like it kind of like bent my mind like out of shape. But I actually think that was really healthy because it gets me to think outside the box in like my own mind.
Right.
And so like when I like look at this cup, for example, like a lot of people would see this and they'd be like, oh, that's a cup with like some juice in it. But then like when you really think about it, it could also be like connected to like so many other things. And like when you think about physics, there's these things called van der Waals forces that like exist between like every single particle. like in particle physics, there's these van der Waals forces. So like this cup literally has like a gravitational attraction to me. And like that's like so outside the box, but actually that's like scientifically a fact. Like this thing is true. And like you know, like, before I saw this like title of the song, Minecraft, as 2 words, I would never ever have a thought like that. You know, like
so the title alone was enlightening for you. Absolutely. It literally educated you everything about physics you could ever need to know, and everything how physics relates to us as human beings. Like you said, the physical attraction of the force of you and the cup. So stuff like that, just from looking at 2 words and not even hearing the song yet, just looking at 2 words is like, that's one of the most insane things, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And like it just shows the amount of thought that they really put into every single detail. Because like even the format of this album, it just teaches you so much. Like, you know, like we'll go forward and we'll talk about this more, but like the format of this album like taught me how to organize like my own life. Like when I look at, like they say, like the sequencing, like in between songs, like such perfect transitions between tracks. Yes. It just like it taught me how to like, you know, like file my taxes, you know, because it's pretty much tax season. It's like upon us right now. Like 'tis the season to do taxes, fa la la, you know. but like it taught me things like that, just like the formatting. Like it just really seeped in and just like helped me so much, man. So, but yeah, going on with the song. Now this song actually has like a really nice sounding like acoustic guitar kind of vibe. And I think that's really chill, and like it makes you think of like a campfire setting. And like, you know, when like you think of a campfire, there's like s'mores and like friends. It's just like that like peace and like contentment. And like another thing about fire that's like so interesting is it's like like at a campfire, like you think like you're at a bonfire, it's like night. It might be a little chilly outside. You look out and it's just dark everywhere you see, and you know that it's cold out there, but you're by the fire, so you're not cold. And that's it's just so warming to me when I hear that acoustic guitar. And, you know, and then he begins to discuss with the lyrics, man. It's amazing. Like the Minecraft.
Like the Minecraft, or like the look at this Minecraft, like stuff like that.
There
like
at the beginning,
And and then talking about this song in particular, about the memories or the nostalgia you get from playing Minecraft. You know, every memory of fighting the creepers, making my diamond sword, you know, being in the mines.
Right, I go way back when I think those songs.
Way back, like honestly, that's like my childhood. And for people who are our age, that's everyone's childhoods. And for like even people who are different ages, like that's basically, you know, even if it's not about Minecraft, you have nostalgia of something of when you were younger, or like, you know, years you wish you could go back to, whether that
even like babies, it's like in their ancestry, because that's us.
It is. Yeah. No, you're so right. Again, this is just so timeless. It's just so perfect. And to any person of any age, you know, you could be a young kid now, you can be an old person, even if you lived like a long time ago or whatever. Like it's just so interesting. I also really like the chorus, and that's what I was referring to. And then the verse comes back in and even builds and adds more to that. Like you're just so weighed down with all this nostalgia. It's just so happy and sad all at the same time. Like it's just so cool.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I really think you summed up the song really well, actually. You know, it just makes you go back and like think about just your whole life and the experiences that you've had. And it does it through this metaphor of like Minecraft. And yeah, like you said, like fighting the creepers. And man, I just think that's like, you know, this song, it really has like a simple but like profound message.
It really is.
Take a look at your entire life. Just take it all in. All the good, all the bad, and it like makes you who you are today. It's just amazing to me. It's so powerful. Like the Sasquatch family literally feels like my family because of these feelings that they make me feel. So,
dude, and when they continue to transform the earth, like we are all one. Well, we're humans, but in addition to that, we are all one Sasquatch family. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, so. I mean, we're like all connected, kind of like I was saying earlier. You know, I guess this applies in that way as well, with like the cup Remember in the Vanderwall.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? I think that we would be remiss to not bring up kind of the glaring detail in this song that just like really kind of changed everything for me. There's like those loud, just like perfectly peaked vocals toward the end of the song.
Yes, and it only does it at the very end too.
Yeah, they save it, like they know what they've got, and they go through the whole song, and they're like, we're gonna hit them at the end, and they know that they're gonna do it, and they know the effect that it has on a person, and then when they just like unleash that, what it makes me think is that this powerful transcendent force is just absolutely punishing to any negativity. And like that's really what we need. We just need to cut all of that fat out of our lives, and we just need to like declare it gone, and just like then we can really like having had these experiences. Then but it just makes me think like I don't even like remember how negativity used to like feel.
I know, and that's good. That means it's impacted you in the right way, and hopefully we can use this to encourage other people so they get to a point where they're like, everything is, like a utopia. Like you said, you've got this utopia of Minecraft, and then you've got this utopia of planet Earth, because everyone is just so happy and positive vibes only in every way. And every Instagram, like imagine like those Instagram posts you see where it's all like good vibes and peace and love and happiness and everything. But imagine if like every single Instagram post ever was like that. Like that's the kind of world we're creating here, or the Sus Squad is creating here with this.
Dude, we can't emphasize enough, man. This really is the new frontier. Like we are changing this world like very similarly to how people change the world in Minecraft. Just one piece at a time.
One block at a time.
Sure, yeah.
No, you're right.
And there's other actually songs on this album about blocks too.
Oh, dude. Like I've heard of blocks. Like
exactly, yeah. Like that is something that's so familiar to all of us. Like
it is.
And of course, it's just like so basic. And they talk about the cell, the basic building block of life. And like these things come together and they form, like you look around and there's like human beings made of cells, man. This is just incredible. But okay, let's go ahead and move now to chapter 3, which like I don't think of these as tracks. I think of them as chapters.
Right.
Grander story of life. That's really what I think about. So I'll say chapter 3. We're coming to this song called Diamonds, and I mean
Diamonds.
We all know how
so good.
Dude, this song, oh wow. Like this song is like truly a gem, like no pun intended. Not even a single pun was intended just now. But like we all know how valuable diamonds are like in Minecraft, which translates so perfectly to real life because like diamonds are so valuable in real life too. Like when I bought my wife a wedding ring, like I really found that out for myself. Like I thought, man, like if I want to value this woman, like something as valuable as this, like it could never really express like my love for this woman, but like I was just so overtaken with like just the beauty of like this
right
thing. And like there's also like gold in Minecraft. And like,
there is.
It was made of diamonds and gold. And
oh yeah,
like listening to this mixtape now, having been married for about 7 months, it really puts a symbol of the ring like that in like a whole new perspective to me. It just really, like I value my marriage so much more because of this mixtape. And I didn't even think that was possible when I got married.
Yeah, neither did I. Like,
you just learn and you grow.
Learn so much. Like, 100,000 years from now, we're still going to be learning from this and finding new ways to apply it to every single part of our lives.
Dude, yeah, I can only wait. Like this something like this is never going to go like out of style. It's never going to be archaic. Like something like this will preserve itself. It will stand the test of time. Like, and it will go down as like not just a classic, but like the classic. And
the classic.
any medium you want, like music, you know, it's the classic album. Like you look, like you do any Google search, and then like you think about literature, and like while this doesn't neatly fit into literature, what it does is it renders all literature completely obsolete.
Yep.
And that's the thing.
Yep.
It's just so overtaken because it's just such a valuable thing in society, this mixtape. And, you know, like, okay, so this song, Diamonds, right? It's what you want in Minecraft. And, like, how do you seek it? But through, like, hard work and time.
You got to find it. You got to dig for it.
Dude, you know how many hours people put in on Minecraft that they could be putting in on this Minecraft mixtape?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, you could do both at the same time. And I've never actually, like, experimented with something like that. But maybe that's, like, a spiritual practice I'd actually really appreciate and enjoy, is, like, trying to actually play Minecraft. And, you know, like, in this, like, utopian imaginary world, you know, but of course not in creative mode. Like,
oh no, I only play in hardcore mode. Like, I like survival mode still, but it got too easy for me, and I'm sure you feel the same way.
Well, yeah, but you know, sometimes I play in survival mode if I want to chill. But yeah, like if I'm like
sure.
really like wanting to like chill, I'll play in hardcore.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I've never experimented with doing both at the same time, like listening to this mixtape and like taking that in at the same time as playing Minecraft. You know, I think something like that, like, you know, obviously, like, as these spiritual practices, like, progress, there's going to be, like, new prophets that rise up and, like, new apostles and things like this that are rising out of this movement that is this mixtape. You know, people that are just like us, there's, like, ordinary people, but then they find within themselves this enlightenment that we've been discussing with this album. And they'll just see its value, and they'll just really manifest that energy into their lives, and then it'll just transmit out into the universe, and it'll just create just like a beacon of light that like reverses everyone's like decay of darkness. Like something like that is so powerfully transcendent that, like, you know, it's just like, that's just what it is. It's just
it really is. Yeah, it's just so perfect. I also will like what you could do. You know, you talked about experimenting. You listen to this song, particular track, Diamonds, while mining for diamonds. Like, I think that'd be super cool, and like applying it to the track itself. And we'll get into some other ones, like, you know, ones about, like the one about farming, or the ones about TNT. Like, you know, do those while you're doing the specific activity related to or talked about in the song itself.
It's like practicing that's super cool. What you preach.
It is, yeah. It's putting it. Oh, I've heard of that too. Yeah. Like, yeah. And also, I liked you mentioned the hard work. Like, one of the lines here when he says, you know, all the way down to bedrock, like, that's like, oh, like these guys are true Minecrafters. Like, they put so much work into it, and they want us to be able to learn from, you know, the hard work, but then the rewards you can get from that, because you get diamonds and you get every ore, and that only impacts you in good ways, because it helps you build and helps you craft.
Dude, yeah. And even now there's like netherite, which is like
the new netherite, yes.
And here's what I think is so interesting. The SSF guys, when they were starting work on their SSF official Minecraft mixtape, when they were starting, version 16 with the netherite wasn't even out yet.
Oh, dude, you're right.
I'm serious. Like, they were still on version 15, where like bees were like a new thing.
Right.
You know, like, and like the
dude, they're literally prophets.
Yeah.
Like,
either that
they would have that foresight.
I don't know. I think there's like some crazy connections going on in this universe, and there's like certain archetypes that are like associated with it. Like I don't even know what to say. Like these things are just connected.
No, you're right. And you mentioned this, you know, universe, like world building. Like, obviously Minecraft is building, but then like world building in terms of the story, like each chapter, and like how that relates to our world, and everything that we could physically learn from this ever. It's just like, I still can't even begin to wrap my head around it. I'll probably never be able to, because it's just that good.
And that's the thing. Like, when you build something, you go from the ground up, right? Like, that's just the way it is.
Right.
When you think about Minecraft, they tell you to never dig straight down.
No, you're right. Huh?
Like there's a lesson to be learned there. Like you build things from the ground up. You don't dig and dig and dig. Like that's just not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to build on a foundation. And I really think that this, you're looking for diamonds. Like that's the only reason you would dig. But then once you find these diamonds, you build, like in Minecraft, you can create something like a diamond block. You take 9 diamond ingots and you get out your crafting table, right? And you can make your crafting table out of like wood planks and things. You have to make those from the trees. And of course it's this involved process. But like as you go throughout life, you learn. Like when you're a baby, like you have milk and then you have like solid food later, but they're like slowly introduced and they don't let you have that honey from the bees in the hives. They don't let you have the honey when you're a baby, right? Just that could hurt you. That could like cause like some like issues in like your development. And so they don't give that to you yet, like you learn things as you go and as you develop and then you like come to the stage of puberty where you really are growing into your own and you're developing things like armpit hair and like you start like growing a weird mustache on your face. It's like things like this, they it's all here. You're building up and you're just progressing. And I think that this song about diamonds really embraces the value of that. And that's what I appreciate about it maybe the most right now. But, give it like a week's time or maybe even a day's time as I'm meditating on this track, in the context of the whole album. And, I may even get something completely new. Like this is at least maybe like the 5th different conclusion that I've come to about this Diamond song. Like, man, like there's just so much to really gather and reap here. Like I just want to really apply that, and I just want to like be an example to like you guys at home who like maybe even some of you haven't heard this mixtape yet, and this is helping you become really interested in that. Like I think me and Joe, like I don't want to speak for him, but I'm sure he would agree with me. Like we really just want to encourage you, like to listen to this and come to these conclusions for yourself so that you can grow and you can join us in this journey. And like maybe we could even be your guide. Just come back to this video. If maybe you ever feel lost or like despondent, you sit in your room and you're like, I don't know what to do next. Like maybe you just want something so bad, but you're not sure what it is. Like come back to this video and just like recenter and like realign and just like really take into account these principles that we're teaching here. These are great things, but yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, I also like, just from a musical standpoint, how electronic this is and how much they took for this song, and in particular, and the auto-tune vocals. The reason the auto-tune is so good because there's not a single note that is in the entire song that's off key or out of tune, because it physically can't, because every single note is locked into that perfect C minor scale or whatever it is. Like, from a music theory standpoint, that is brilliant. And I mean, like I don't know, I just, I love everything about it. I think it's perfect. I like how the auto-tune, and at the very end, again, the end where they save it and they punch you in the face, this entire chorus effect, it sounds like an entire choir of heavenly angels just, saying, I love playing Minecraft. It's better than Fortnite. It's better than anything. Things like that are just, it's so monumental. And yeah, I just, I love it, and I love hearing it every single time. Like, it makes me want to cry.
True. Absolutely. And I was also going to mention just like, say like a band like Police, how they go back and forth from like minor to major for like an effect.
Right.
And I actually think that that's really embraced in this song, because it's like
you're right. Mm-hmm.
The whole song is in a minor key until the end, whenever they're really just coming at you with these really powerful chorus vocals. And if you listen to it really carefully, every single chord of that ending part with the chorus vocal harmony, every single chord is a major chord.
Right.
And so it's that transition from like sadness to like happiness that like we really follow in this journey. And so that's really that's really something that I took out of this.
Yeah, I love that. You know, you're definitely right, 100% right. And just
Something I was able to glean. Yeah.
it's good. Yeah, I'm glad you're able to have that positive exchange or interference or like anything in that aspect. Like that's just
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I was definitely like vibing, like you was vibing in that aspect. So.
True vibes. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, okay, so let's go on to the next track, and I just want to preface this, like, if I turn up, um, just go on with the video. So, because this song, like, I almost feel bad to compare it to the rest of the album, but like, you know, every song has its genre, has its flavor, and like, you know, this song is about sheep, and you know, sheep has a certain flavor when you eat it. Like you think about like a mutton steak, and like if you cook it, like you want to cook it more than you cook like a beef steak because like the fat in mutton, if not appropriately rendered, has like a really funky kind of taste. And so like this song, I think it really, you know, it has this like whole other flavor. Like you're at this point in the album, you're being hit with so much that like you think that you've heard it all already because it's just so diverse. And then you come to a song like this, and it's just like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, I don't even know that I have the words.
Well, also the song dollar sign dollar sign dollar sign sheep for them to use like not even like those aren't even. I mean, I know it's an S, but that icon or that piece of text isn't even a letter in the English alphabet. So for them to use like a type of, it's almost like a code, but for them to use a type of another type of lettering or this that isn't even like in our language, it's just so innovative. And
Dude,
then
yeah.
they apply that to something as simple as sheep, and but then the kind of sheep you eat and what you gain from that as a, you know, as a Minecrafter or a person, again, it comes full circle and it plays into our lives in the real world. Like it's just, and yeah, I don't know, I
I think,
love how
I think you're right because it's like you think about a dollar sign, like it's not alphabetic, it's not alphanumeric, it's purely symbolic. And what are
the
symbols?
symbol.
But like things that have meaning and they like get established over time. And like you always see these symbols throughout society and you say, oh, that's the first time I've ever seen that symbol. What does that mean? And then once you know what it means and you see it everywhere, because there's just symbols all around us. You look around and you'll see like a symbol on somebody's t-shirt or a symbol on even like a sign, like a P with like a red circle and a line through it. And you just you develop an understanding of what these symbols mean over time. And I think the fact that they put three together,
They put three of them in the same song.
right? And I've actually like I've only seen that in one other place, and I'm pretty sure that it's that XXX Tentacion song called dollar sign dollar sign dollar
Oh,
sign
you're right.
featuring Matt Ox.
Matt Ox, yeah.
You know, like is a fellow wokester like us,
For
like
sure, certainly.
community. And like Rip X for sure.
Dude, like Rip X, like Rip X every day.
Like rip him. But
Dude.
yeah, so like Up Makes, they have a song that's called dollar sign dollar sign dollar sign, and it actually reminds me a lot of this sheep song.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I can totally see that. Huh? That's a great thought.
It seems like they kind of took the concept and simplified it. And like one example would be the title, of course, because this song that's on this album that we are recommending is dollar sign dollar sign dollar sign sheep, but their song is just called dollar sign dollar sign dollar sign.
Right.
I think that that's a simplification, but it's not necessarily like a blasphemous one or anything.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's just taking that message and really applying it into something positive. And like when I hear like this song, this sheep song, and it talks about wool, you know, but it disguises it in such a way that it kind of just sounds like the ooh,
right.
it's like in the song.
Right.
And then you think about the dollar sign dollar sign dollar sign song, and it's a simplification of that, because where the sheep song says ooh sometimes, and it says wool sometimes, and it says cubes sometimes, you listen to this simplified version of the song and it just says ooh every time. But like actually I thought that was kind of neat because whenever you hear the ooh, like what that makes you do inside your own head is it tests you and it makes sure that you're applying the principles of this song in this Minecraft mixtape. I thought that was just so nice. But yeah, this song is basically all about sheep and like what is sheep, but like just
like what is a sheep? Like
it's a symbol of purity, you know. You look to the Bible and it says that Jesus is the lamb that was slain for our sins, and this message is truly powerful. But you just look at society, you see like sheep, they're so innocent and so pure and so white, and that's just so interesting.
Yeah. And you also think about, when Jesus is the shepherd and he has, his sheep, us that he's guiding. In the same way, the Sasquatch family is guiding us through life. Or like, what's the parable where there's the man, he has 100 sheep and one gets away and he spends all day looking for the one. He finds it and he gets so happy and he throws a party. Like that's how important this album is, and that's how much the Sasquatch family cares about us. Like
they will literally leave the 99.
Dude, leave that 99. Like then they do it in a heartbeat.
It's like forget the 99.
I know, right? Just
like, literally
cast them out. No,
like the 99, man. Like what? Like for the one, like that's amazing.
Just for that one. Yeah. I also I guess the one other thing I want to touch on about the title, the fact that they use, I think $3 is the fact that they use 3 and not more, not less, is like, again, such a religious context. Well, first off, if they use like $4, like if it was $, sheep, I feel like it could come off as a little like preachy, like, okay, you're just preaching at us. But like 1 or 2 is not enough. The fact that they use 3 is like, it's just so perfect and pure, like you said. It's almost like the Trinity. The fact that you use 3.
Oh, yeah.
Is like the perfect amount to get the message across of what they want us to learn. And but yeah, I just love it. I just think it's like the coolest thing ever, and I'm so thankful for Team SSF and how woke they are.
Yeah, definitely. Like big shout out. Like I mean, I almost feel like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So definitely a huge.
Dude, me too, honestly.
Leave a like on this video, like so. But yeah,
comment down below, like it up,
let's
all that.
talk about TNT next.
TNT, yes.
So, yeah, man, this song, like, when you come off of 2 songs like Diamonds, $, sheep, and like you have these messages of like things that have so much value, and then you come to a song like TNT, it kind of just stops you in your tracks because TNT, it's so like destructive.
Right.
But I think there's something in this song that we really need to like internally struggle with. And see, this is one of the more challenging songs on the album, I think. It really is challenging because you think of things as destructive as bad. And I think this song really challenges you to not just put it on this spectrum of good and bad, but to like see some forms of destruction as maybe they're, maybe they can appear harmful, but actually they're good. And there's concepts here like griefing, and griefing in Minecraft is that's when you blow up someone else's base. And sometimes, like, I think this Minecraft, it's so revolutionary, this mixtape, it's so revolutionary and so life-altering that sometimes it can appear destructive because it's like someone ripped the rug right out from under you and they just took your whole foundation away. But they're giving you a new one, and that's kind of the thing. It's like chiseling. It's like a big stone it's like just a big rock, and you're chiseling away, and you just come up after a long time and a lot of work with like a very well chiseled piece of just statue brilliance. And I really think that's one of my greatest takeaways from this song.
Yeah, that's so cool. And this definitely is a harder one to understand conceptually. But when you think about it, like, this album has, made me question life itself, like who I really am or who anyone really is. So for them to take away my entire worldview, but then give me things to build back up with, again and again, building with the blocks and the cubes and everything in Minecraft. Like it's just so revolutionary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I would say, it comes full circle. And then also, this song, it has like kind of a rock and roll type of feel, would you say? Like, and I think that's really interesting. Just the heaviness of it, it can feel even like oppressive. And it's like that with the destruction. It's really what it feels like to change your life in a significant way. Because I mean, think about it. Like I remember whenever I first really started to embrace this Minecraft thing, like my relationship with my parents, like almost fizzled away. Until eventually I was able to bring them alongside me and then just like walk with them in this journey, like physically, mentally, like emotionally and spiritually. Like I was just able to like focus on my family in that time, in this season. And I think
in this season of living, yes.
Yeah. And just like, that really is how it feels to change your life. It can be really heavy. It can be really oppressive, and it can seem destructive, but these things in the long run will make you a better person. And so I think that the aesthetic choice of making this a rock and roll styled song, was just like, it couldn't be more perfect. It really just couldn't be. It's just every piece of this, like,
like when you finally understand it, it all comes together. And the fact that it's so heavy to begin with. It's got all these like screeching vocals, and then at the end, the fact gets da, 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 and just gets building and just becomes this loud, a literal explosion, and then just does that for like what feels like a few minutes is what it kind of feels like. And just to have that be the conclusion to your song is just, again, nails that message home of like, this is life changing, and you may not understand it at first, but it really is the most powerful thing in all existence, because it's there. But that's the thing, like, it's there to help you along. And it's something that is maybe hard to understand at first, but when you get into it and you finally realize that, like you said, walking with your family, the moment I came home for spring break, I showed this video or this mixtape to my family, and they were like so blown away. I mean, as would anyone, but like to see my family just be like blown away like that for something like that, like, I don't know, it's just like the weirdest, but also like coolest, most interesting thing that they would be affected by this as well,
and the definition of lit.
Dude, it is honestly like the littest thing I've ever in my entire life. Like straight facts.
Yo.
The only thing that could be better would be, well, this album, but on vinyl, I guess. But there's no other album that could ever even, come to be like 1/1000th of how awesome this is, whether on disc or vinyl or digital or cassette or any type of medium or or whatever. So yeah, TNT, that's a good one. And again, supplying that to the it's such a simple idea, the TNT blocks in Minecraft, but then everything relates to in the world, and then relates back to Minecraft and relates back. It's like it's just back and forth of just like there's just so much to take in. Like you could spend like your entire life studying this, and like it's just wow, it's just like the most brilliant thing ever.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, man. So let's go on to the next song, and this one's called Mine Bomba.
Mine Bomba.
This is one of the more cryptic ones, and this is one that I'm kind of still struggling with.
Sure.
Because it's really just about like gathering equipment. It's about in Minecraft, to mine, you would want like a pickaxe, and then like say whenever you're chopping down a tree, you would want an axe. And then say whenever you're like collecting dirt blocks, you would want like a hoe. And these things, this song, it really references, just like in particular, like getting dirt blocks and like just really cultivating the soil. And so it's like putting to good use this hoe that you've like got in your possession, and like, you know, cultivating and like really tilling and like, you know, just like embracing this lifestyle of just like gain and prosper and just like healthiness and wealthiness and just like really building yourself up. It's all about self-love, really, at the end of the day. In growing. It's really about growing and self-love. And also it's about refining, because when we think about ourselves, like, you know, it's not always that we have to chip away at ourselves to make us better, but sometimes, like, you think about whenever you're refining a metal, you'll put it through like some like lava and stuff, and like heating processes to really refine it into not only the correct like chemical compound or even alloy, but also the correct shape. And so, you know, it's things like this. You know, sometimes it's about embracing that pressure, embracing that heat, and then just like, you know, you have that perspective of like the gain that could come on the other side of that. I really appreciate this song for things like that.
I don't really know what else to say about this. And that's just perfect. That's great. You talked about everything. And also, it's what I think is interesting is the fact that they use farming as a metaphor in this song, as a metaphor like for life, because, you know, farming, you know, are like hardcore Minecraft players like us, like it's totally like it's just natural. But a lot of people, when they think of Minecraft, farming isn't the first thing that comes to mind. So the fact that they would use, at least for like, you know, noob players or like people who play Roblox or any of those, like the fact that they use a concept as not like unknown, but a little more foreign as farming, and then to be able to apply that is just like, it really makes you think about everything Minecraft has to offer in, you know, in the game or in any aspect like that. It's just kind of interesting, and it's so creative, and it really, you know, allows you to, and so like what you said, every different kind of thing you can grow in Minecraft, like carrots or your sugar cane or just you know, any plant, or, you know, potatoes, pumpkins, you know, anything that there is that can benefit you in the, you know, the different ways. And that makes me think of like how we use our talents, the talents we've been given to, you know, to well, obviously bless ourselves with the self-love, but then to be able to help other people, help them to be able to understand the mixtape. So little things like that. Yeah, it's just, I mean,
like our self-love is helping other people self-love
and self-love themselves.
Sure,
right. Which that's like the wokest thing ever. Like,
yeah, definitely. So yeah, man. What do you get out of this Enderman of Broken Dreams?
Enderman of Broken Dreams. Well, in this song, the Enderman is alone, but he knows how to teleport, because that's what Endermen do. Because basically all they do is, if you look at them, they kill you. But when you're not looking at them, they're just like, they just pick up blocks and then they just teleport around. And so what I get out of this is the journey that, like, you know, it's kind of weird, because again, it's such a huge, like, high, like, you know, 5,000 IQ concept. You compare yourself to an Enderman, but like when you are, you know, trying to find meaning, you feel lost, like, and you're just like, all I knew how to do is to teleport, or to be able to just, you know, whatever it is, all I can do. But for him to say, like, I'm walking this lonely Minecraft road, you know, is what is again, it's not the struggle. Like, you may not understand it now, but it's bringing to you to that, you know, emotional, enlightening, spiritual fulfillment is what I would gain from this one. Like when he said, like, my scary eyes are really, really scary. Like, to me, that makes me think of like how we're like, you know, humanity has tendency to be evil, or like only think of you know, ways to hurt people. And obviously, like, everything about this is about, you know, love for, you know, humanity. Again, going back to that, you know, we unite the entire world. Just just things like that, I think, are super powerful and like really compelling, and things that everyone should think about it, even if it's not easy. Yeah, everyone should think about, even if it's not easy.
Yeah, man, I love that. And you know, I also think about, you know, the Enderman. It's the journey, but how do they make that journey? They do things like, you know, because they can feel like their dreams are broken, these Endermen. The Endermen of Broken Dreams, that's the title of the song. So I guess maybe this is something that they want us to grasp, the Sasquatch family. What do these Endermen do? Rather than just sulking in their broken dreams, they're resourceful. What do? They teleport and they pick up blocks.
They do everything they can. They do what they can.
They embrace those gifts that they've been given on their journey. And I think that is a very important lesson that I definitely do take away from this. Yeah.
I don't even know. And how the song is sad, but hopeful as well. Because when he's saying, sometimes I wish that I could just go mining. Like when he's saying, I want to be, a mine crafter, or just the idea of wanting to be able to do what is right. And at the same time doing what you can, finding your blocks and building and, constructing. And yeah, it's such a bizarre concept saying comparing yourself as an individual to an Enderman, this monster, but really we all have things to work on in ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so seeing that and then seeing how we can become better people for all humans, how we impact people. It's really, it really makes me feel happy, knowing that even if you're the worst person, you can still, go on the spiritual journey that the Sasquatch is that they're trying to guide us or trying to teach us with.
And I also think that in a subtle way, we talked about ethnicity earlier. Whenever you think about the song so far, we've had boys and girls on the mixtape, right? But when you think about Steve and when you think about Alex, they're both white. But then you come to a song like this and you see the Enderman as a black individual. You can even say as a black man, is represented on this album and is shown in such a way where he's overcoming the oppression that's been forced on him for years, and he's being resourceful, and he's really making a life for himself. I just think that the black narrative is really being illustrated well here on this song. So in a subtle way, but I think it's definitely, I would be remiss to not point that out. I think it's definitely an intentional contribution to this album's overall message, just as a unifying principle. So.
No, and like you said earlier, this album is ending, not just creating ideas for it, how to stop racism, how to ease tensions. This is ending, putting a stop to all racism.
Yes.
That the fact that it can do that and in little ways like this.
Like the End It movement.
Yes.
With the
no, it's just
no.
Right.
End it.
Yeah, this is the end it. It ends it 100 years from now, people won't even know what racism is at all. And people will try to teach it and people will be like, what's that? I don't get it, and
wow. You're right.
It's such a, it'll be such an ancient concept at that point. You've got, and this is, a stereotype, but you've got, these upper middle class, rich families who are predominantly white. And then you've got, in some areas, you got, these lower income households where, and not everyone, obviously. I don't want to, I don't want to sound unwoke, but some of these more black communities. What?
Trigger warning.
Yeah, trigger warning. Yeah, everyone just don't get triggered. But the reason I bring these concepts, dude, rip X, honestly.
Yeah, real.
Rip him. But the reason I bring up these concepts is that in the future, neither of those will be a thing at all, because everyone will be in harmony. It will be a true utopia. It'll be perfect because of the fact that this album is ending these kind of social issues and these things that oppress people on both sides of the coin. It's just really interesting.
Well, I love, what allows for an album like this? Free speech. And what allows for the liberation of people who have been racially oppressed is free speech. These things are going inside and conversations are happening that are really shaking just the global socioeconomic dynamic. And I think that these are some really exciting things. And man, I just wish that everyone could just know as much as we do. It could just be as woke as we are when it comes to our knowledge of this Minecraft mixtape.
Yeah, like it's honestly it's so wokeful. Like, I just love it. You've got people like, police brutality, for example, and people saying like, Black Lives Matter and movements like that saying, people are harmful to people. Again, trigger warning, but like, people being racist, on the police force and things like that. But like again, that will never happen again after we see the results of what this mixtape is doing in in places like our communities and in like our entire nation, the country as a whole. What the leaders are doing, what kind of legislation they'd be writing to put an end to these based off of hearing. Like I would even argue, they say send a letter to your congressman. I would say write to your congressman and tell them to listen to this and tell them this is what is best for not only the United States, which is where we live, but not only that, but for every country as a whole. And if you don't listen to this, you're not only un-American, you're not human. And I don't want to like scare you guys, but like, this is the truth, and everything has to be from this. Like this is our Bible, this is our scripture here. So everything has to come from this, because this is the way and the truth and the life forever. So
well, I want to mention one thing. So you mentioned that there would, like, police brutality, for example, would just come to an end. And I actually think that there's kind of a concept that runs throughout the Sasquatch Family album. And it reminds me of a James Madison quote, actually, from history. And James Madison said, "If men were angels, there would be no need for the law." And I think that this album is pushing us in a direction to where we would become so pure like sheep, right? Like the song, like sheep. We would become so pure like sheep, and we would just develop like a taste for that. And we would find it so valuable, and like we would be resourceful, and we'd build these lives for ourselves, and we would all interact well with others. That it's like James Madison said, there would be no need for the law. And so governments would just disappear. We would all share. No one would own anything, because that is unfair for anybody to own anything. Like how could, like, you're just have this money in your bank account, why can't I have it? Like that's part of the thing. Like these structures and like these things that we build up, they just need to go away. And so, with the governments going away, what else goes away is, the police departments, firefighters, because they're all being rendered obsolete by this mixtape. And that's kind of the thing. This is the direction.
This is what we need.
Lawlessness. And but like lawlessness that like we can trust because of the concepts found in this mixtape. I mean, think about it. Are there policemen in Minecraft?
No, of course not. You don't, and not that's not a bad thing. It's because you don't need policemen.
Exactly.
Because everything is flawless, and this, everything is perfect, and it's a literal heaven. And also, I like to mention, well, you said it's lawlessness and governments go away. And normally, when you think about governments going away, you think of like anarchy, like the purge, or like people fighting for themselves. But that won't even be a thing that even comes to anyone's mind at all, because everyone will just be so in union with every single person in the world. Like that's huge. And the fact that this mixtape is doing this is insane. It's a movement that needs to happen like right now. Like
I agree. And going from there, just like all of us embracing each other. Like we all come from various backgrounds. Like we all have a story, but we can be unified. And I think the next song, Flamingo, that's really what it's all about, because it talks about various colors coming together. What is it? Something white, green, or blue. Show off your natural hues. These sorts of things. Like you can actually take pride in your identity and who you are when you embrace the concepts that are found in this mixtape. And Flamingo, it's just really a positive message about how, like, if you embrace the concepts of the Minecraft mixtape and you really put away the concepts of like, things that are really negative, like eating meat, like having a government, or like playing Roblox, like these things,
Robloxers, yeah.
If you take those things away and you just really rest and you just take comfort in the concepts of this mixtape, this Minecraft mixtape, then like you can really let who you truly are on the inside show. And that is just so liberating and freeing. And I just think it's a message that we all need to hear in this day and age.
It is. It's one of the best messages ever. And in Flamingo, if I remember right, there are at least I think there's at least 3 different voices. Yeah, some are featured, like you hear more than others, but you hear like these different ideas, and they're like different accents, like the
right, 3 different cultural
these cultural barriers being broken down. Yeah, people be coming together to literally coming together to solve these issues and to become one. We're getting to a point where like people don't even think about race or at all anymore, because like it won't matter, because everything's just so good and everyone will love each other in every possible way. Like that's just such a powerful idea. And the fact that you can show, but at the same time, you can still, like, we're not all the same. Like you can still show off your identity, your natural hue, your colors, in the game or in real life. Like it's
right,
just
because like the same way that there's Minecraft skins is the same way that we can express ourselves on a day-to-day basis. In Minecraft, there's the chat. In real life, there's our voice. There's just
Right.
like we can communicate with not only how we present ourselves physically, but how we present ourselves communicationally in this like landscape of just like living. That like there's just so many like good and valuable platitudes to be drawn from a message like this. They could, like just meditating on this song really kind of recenters your focus on life in general, and that can just be so rewarding. It is what I find.
Yeah, it's special. It really makes you think of it. I find this one in particular is an easy one to meditate to, just because it's just so chill. Like I can just chill at my level or at any level, and it's just like great. It's just like fun. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, right. Like you don't even have to worry like really chill if I can chill here. Like you can like just chill. Like that's just what it is. So
Yeah.
like so we got up next. I'm fighting zombies. And this actually features Lorenzo, which we'll get to in a minute. But I actually think this is a really relevant song because, with the coronavirus pandemic right now in our world, and who knows who else it spread to? Like it spread to our world. Who else? Who knows where else it could be by now? Like it spread so fast. There's a lot of talk about actually the zombie apocalypse. And when you look at Minecraft, what's in the game but zombies?
You got zombies.
And that's the thing. There's this game. It's so predictive of things that we haven't even like seen manifest themselves in reality yet. But like it's a prophetic warning about things that are to come. And I actually think that's why Lorenzo is featured here, because when you look at SSF and like the people that are in the Sasquatch family, the 4 individual members, there's one of them that's a man of few words, that anytime he speaks up, it's so profound and it just like really catches you and it just makes you think so much. Like anytime I hear Lorenzo speak in an SSF video, I pause the video and I just think really hard about why what he just said is just like so profoundly meaningful to the, even like within one SSF video, just like the profound meaning to like every part of that video. It's just such a unifying thing. But then like Lorenzo not only unifies the video and is like the glue that really holds it all together and like is the filmer. He's literally like the maybe even like the bedrock or the foundation, you could say. Like, but since we're talking about Minecraft, I think let's, bedrock foundation.
Bedrock, there it is.
Really synonymously. Like he's really what that is. He holds all things up so that you can build on his resources. And so you're taking the resources concept from the Enderman. And then in SSF, Lorenzo is actually unseen, which makes you think of things that are transcendent, the things that are unseen, things that are unphysical. these things like you can't see their face until you like achieve a certain enlightenment. And in Sasquatch Family, it's 9 or 900 billion likes. And the thing is like we might see that as impossible, but I just know for my own self in my own life, I create 5 YouTube accounts, or Google accounts, I suppose they really are. I create 5 Google accounts every day so that I can go onto that video and click like with each YouTube account. And that's just a goal that I set for myself. It's just like it's kind of just a way of keeping Sasquatch Family and the, just the overarching like Minecraft mixtape and just these principles. It's a way of like centering my focus and just like being like present and like resting in that. And I find personally, like just for me, like this is my own experience, like I find it really good.
I mean, when I hear the voice of Lorenzo, it's like hearing God speak. It literally is the voice of God. And we know that's true because the SSF is guiding us on the spiritual journey. I also like this juxtaposition because the main singer in the SFS is like this really high, and then Lorenzo is just this low, I'm gonna spawn. And the fact that these two worlds of vocal qualities, these two worlds are just colliding is like the most impressive thing. And one of the coolest things I've ever heard, like, this song would not be the same, even though Lorenzo plays a few small parts in this, it would not be the same at all without Lorenzo's voice, because like absolutely everything he does is just, it, like you said, the bedrock, it just cements it. Everything that's going on here is all thanks to him. And I'd like to touch on the meaning of the song itself. Like he mentioned, he's fighting zombies, and in the actual song, like towards the end, he stood scared, but then what happens is Notch from Sweden, the creator of Minecraft, actually shows up to help him, and they fight, and they finish killing all the zombies, and they win. So basically, the meaning of that, what I take away from it in my personal life, is that, I think of it like, Notch is a guide. He is a role model or and a figure that the protagonist looks up to. So it's saying that, like, you're not in this alone. You have people there, like mentors, to like guide you, to help you in every way. Like, when you talk about, even he doesn't have to be someone as huge as, let's say, celebrity like he is. It can be someone like, your pastor, or someone in your family you want to talk to, because as people, we need to have other people to tell our problems to. And the protagonist, the character in this song, could not have done what he did without Notch's help. So just stuff like that. So that, and obviously Lorenzo, the voice of God, like it's just so perfect in every physical way. Like, I don't know, I just really love it. I love everything that it says, and how it means that we can fight like alongside people who are there, who are willing, and people who actually want to help us succeed in the battle against evil. It's just such a huge triumphant thing. It's literally like this victory cry is what it is.
Wow. Yeah, I totally agree. And I think there's only one more thing that I'd like to say about the song before we move on. And that's just like the sheer amount of like packaged philosophy that's inside a single word in this song. I just thought was amazing. It's, where there's like an inhale, and then you hear Lorenzo say whatever. And you hear this,
oh my gosh,
you hear this word whatever as opposed to hearing an exhale. Right. And I remember the first time I actually heard that, like, in my own sinfulness, I felt like unsatisfied, because after an inhale should be an exhale.
You want that breathe out, yeah.
Just the words of Lorenzo, the whatever, just the perspective that comes with that, just the philosophical basis that one has to be rooted in to be able to say whatever when they feel unsatisfied about something like that is truly incredible. I only hope that I could get to this level, of enlightenment that has really achieved. And I just think that, maybe one of the only ways that we can do that is we can stay grounded in this Minecraft mixtape, but also we can look ahead and like towards the future of what SSF is going to put out next. Because I think we're all on the edge of our seats. Like, like if I point my laptop screen down, like I'm like in this desk chair, but I'm like sitting on the edge. Like,
Oh yeah, like I'm gonna like fall out. If I move like any closer, I would literally fall out of my chair. Like that's how edge of my seat I am. Like it's just insane.
dude, I'm just like I'm like. So yeah, let's go to Lazuli Dreams. It's track 10.
Yeah.
Now this song, you know, Lazuli, this is a real rock that's in real life. It's also in Minecraft, you know, as with like diamonds and gold. So you can really see a lot of parallels between real life. But this song in particular, you know, it's about having dreams. It's about having goals, setting, you know, setting your own precedent and then meeting your own precedent. And just like, you know, just really like evolving as a person and just really just like planting your roots and then just like growing out like a tree. And just like you have to have the dream, you have to have the drive, you have to have the vision to be able to accomplish something like this. And how else can you achieve those things but with this Minecraft mixtape? Because, you know, and I think that's why this song is positioned so much later in the album. Because if this were, say, like the first song that anyone was to hear from the Minecraft mixtape, like just if this was the first song that were to ever come out, that would be like a real, like, wow, you know what? I just realized something. I about said something so wrong and I would have felt so irresponsible. Listen to this. So I was about to make the claim that if this song actually came out first, that it would be a bad thing because then people would be setting their dreams up without the foundation of the Minecraft mixtape to lead the way. But then I realized that maybe if this song were released first, that might, you know, make people ask questions before they actually start setting these dreams and these goals in their lives. And I think that's actually really an important concept. And so, you know, like when you look back at like just the vast history of like what SSF has done, you go all the way back and you know, you go back to the first song that they ever released. And it was called Lazuli Dreams, which has the same title as the song that we're talking about right now. And just
no way, really?
Yeah, like they're titled actually the same. And I think
I'm on YouTube right now. I'm searching up the Squad fam. Okay, yeah. So they did actually, yeah, even before the mixtape ever happened, they released a song called Lazuli Dreams.
Right.
And this was something that, wow, like that's
they have the same title, but like are they the same thing?
Like, I don't know. Like, I've only listened to the mixtape a trillion times. Like, I've never listened to this one. Here, is it okay if I go ahead and, like,
how long?
It's 4 minutes, 19 seconds. Is it the same song?
Dude, I think they're the same. Like,
holy crap!
Titled the same, but I think they're literally like the same actual song.
No, so you're saying that is the first song they ever released?
Yes. Dude.
Holy crap! You know what? I'm done. I need to walk around.
Yeah, dude. Like
I literally.
We're learning right now.
I could not, like, the reason I got up, I could not sit still. Like, I need to just walk around and like I can't even take this in. Like this.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you guys, like this is real. Like, we literally learned this right now. This was the first single on that was ever released for this mixtape. And like the fact that this would be the one that gets people interested in talking talking about asking questions is like even right now I'm still moving. I can't sit still at all.
And I want to point out, like, you guys watched that transformation in me. Like, I was beginning to come to this evil conclusion, but then, like, since I have those principles of, like, the Minecraft mixtape so instilled in me, they, like, rescued me from that and not only, like, pushed me towards the truth, but they pushed me towards a new truth. They actually revealed something. I just received revelation. And I went through this spiritual experience live on tape. And, like, if that's not convincing enough for you guys to check out this mixtape, like, I don't know what will be. Like, you guys just, like, witnessed that with me. Like, I've never felt something like that before. I think, like, maybe I have, but, like, like maybe when I like wasn't conscious of it yet, you know, like maybe before in life, like whenever I was going through like major developmental stages, like maybe I went through things like this, but now I'm actually woke enough to like be able to kind of articulate my experiences. And I actually think that it's the Minecraft mixtape that actually showed me the way, the journey that I have to go on to be able to achieve such great heights of human like potential. So like I feel like Super Saiyan, like to use a Dragon Ball Z like analogy, like that's how I feel right now. Like my muscles are bulging, like I feel like a cartoon. This doesn't even feel real. But in another way, like on the other hand, it feels more real than anything that I've ever experienced. So that should be pretty convincing about this whole philosophy. Man, let's go to the so Lazuli Dreams. We still got to talk about the song actually. Wow. I'm pretty much not just a loss for words, but just like a loss for everything, you know.
Like I can't even feel anything right now. I'm just so like spiritually engaged or just completely taken over. Like we're 10 chapters in and I've absorbed so much, even just sitting here just talking about it.
I think that if you took my blood pressure right now, it would probably be like 250 or maybe even like 300 systolic, and then over like a diastolic of maybe like 220 or 230 or something like that, because my blood is just so filled with like endorphins and adrenaline, and it's just like really like all my veins, they literally feel like just like distended everywhere all over my entire body, and not in an unhealthy way. Like this is something that I'm like learning to embrace, is like these type of feelings. And like, you know, obviously like medical science, they haven't caught up with that, because they might think that like I'm going through some kind of peripheral edema or something. But man, like, you know, they'll wanna put me on some medicine, you know. But like that's just not what this is. You know, so like I would actually like encourage you guys, like, you know, really embrace how this will change you. Even though it might be scary at first, and though it may feel counterintuitive, you'll come to the perspective where you actually realize that everything around you is a lie, and that everything inside of Minecraft Mixtape is real. And so you'll just begin to have this perspective, and eventually it'll just be instilled in you enough to where you approach real life as fake, and you approach Minecraft Mixtape philosophy as, you know, like you're walking by faith and not by sight, essentially. You know, to apply that lesson. But man, yeah, Lazuli Dreams. You know, just these dreams that we talked about. But like, man, like you really do, like, you set new goals, you set new boundaries for yourself. You know, you're learning to embrace a lifestyle of living and learning and loving. And I just think that that's so like impactful and special. Like I know I needed to hear that, and I was the one who said it. Like I feel like I'm like not even speaking for myself, like out of my own head. Like I don't think I'm thinking what I'm saying right now. I just think it's happening. Like there's just like spiritually manifested presence in me that's communicating through me to all of you guys. And I think that he wants you guys to just like learn this stuff from like out of my mouth, but it's like it's above me. And I think that's really what's going on right now. And like I feel like I'm being used as like
yeah.
It's just so like humbling, really. Like I feel like I'm the most like gifted, just charismatic person like in the universe. And that's just how I feel. It's so humbling.
I think it's cool that the Sus Squad family is speaking through you as a prophet to provide their spiritual knowledge with people. And you're right, it is humbling for you as an individual, because it just shows how kind and caring and responsible you are, and how seriously you take these ideas.
And to willing to fill others with hope, to add that to the list.
Sure. Wow, yeah, it's just, yeah, Lazuli Dreams, it's just such a great song. And now thinking that as an opener really comes back around. and it makes more sense saying that, like, this was what introduced people to these Minecraft concepts and got people interested. You get their feet wet in the water, and then eventually they just dive in and listen to the whole thing, and then they have to ponder everything. It's a challenge, but it's well worth it. It's so rewarding. Like, literally, like, there is more information in here than like any religious book ever, like the Bible or the Quran or any book that is, Book of Mormon, anything that's ever existed that tries to teach spiritual knowledge. This
Right, because
is
it's merely text.
right. Yeah. Again, going back to, what was it, our textbooks? Like, that's the problem. It's not, something about this is being in, the fact that it's translated and communicated through an audio format just makes it so much that more of an experience, because like we said, when you listen to an album, it truly is this, mind altering experience that you have to take in, you have to absorb it like a sponge. So,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay, so this is a simple question. I want you to share with our audience one dream that you've had throughout this process. Because we're talking about Lazuli dreams. One dream, one plan, one vision that you have for yourself. Just a simple question, a simple answer. What's one for you?
Like in Minecraft or in the real world?
Well, they're kind of the same. So
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
if you say one that's in the real world, it would work in Minecraft.
That's true. Yeah, that's true, because everything is connected. Yeah, absolutely. Well, one dream I have right now for myself is to get well, I'm trying to think of which way I want to go with this, because there's a lot like I could bring up. One thing, I want to expand my circle of Minecraft friends in my server, to expand like our Minecraft community of people, to get more players in, because that allows for more. What?
Before you go on, I want you to share your plan for how you're going to manifest that into your life.
Well, my plan? Well,
your plan to manifest that dream.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess for me, it's to get more people to know about it, so we can have this kind of collaboration or kind of teamwork, get them to know about the mixtape, get them interested in playing Minecraft, because that way my friendship with them and my common interest with them about playing Minecraft is something that I think would make them want to at least start playing with me and see what it is.
So, okay, what I love about what you just said is it just proved that you have a rich understanding of the structure of this mixtape, because we go from Lazuli dreams to Steve's plan. And so you're planning to accomplish and so as you're moving from the track Lazuli dreams into the following song Steve's plan, you really just get a sense, like when I hear you talk, I really get a sense of the idea that like you have to set your goal. And then once you're looking forward, you can make a plan with your eyes on the prize to get to that place. And so you have this drive and you have this sense of like, you've already captured the victory, but it's still not quite yours yet. But you have this sense that you've already captured it. And so it really motivates you to get there. And then like while you're on your way, you might face some struggles, but you're keeping your eyes on the prize because you have this plan in place to get to this thing and accomplish this dream. And eventually, like, I know that you will achieve it because your plan is so rock solid. And also your dream is so well founded within the doctrine of this Minecraft mixtape. And so something like that's really inspiring to me. So I really appreciate you sharing that in that aspect.
Oh yeah. Many aspects to be had in this mixtape.
Yeah.
Yes, Steve's plan.
I like the relationship between these two songs. But yeah, go ahead and share kind of your thoughts about Steve's plan.
Well, Steve's plan, and granted, like there's so much to be taken from this, as there was with every single song. With Steve's plan, is him saying kind of like what I mentioned earlier, he likes his Minecraft friends, but I guess we'll just call him Steve because it's the character. But then at the same time, he wants, he's scared because of the monsters, and so he wants his friends to be with him and to fight alongside him. Kind of similar with Notch earlier. I'm fighting zombies, but also it takes it even further because it's talking about them, not just zombies, but like creepers, skeletons, spiders. Like it introduces a whole nother level of just terror, and like that can be scary because like if you're new to Minecraft, like you don't know how to combat, to attack, or any strategy, or like any Minecraft strats at all. Like you just don't know. But he's saying, I want to learn with my friends. They're going to tell the story about me. The legacy we leave on as a team. So it's even it's taking I'm fighting zombies, and taking that even further and saying how you work, or how you compete, or how you strike down the monsters, and how you grow together, really. Now, I know this is all confusing. I'm throwing a lot at you because there's a lot of depth in this song, specifically, because obviously Steve's plan, he could have a lot of plans, like, we don't even know. But that's one plan specifically that I would take from this one. It's just, and I really like how, like, well, I was going to talk about the end, because the ending is honestly the littest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, and it's one of my favorite parts. But I want to see what else you had to say about it first, about the song.
I like that you said that this song is really deep and full of meaning, right? And I think that if you, if you kind of you systematize all of the things that we're talking about, you make this kind of like a systematic framework of understanding, basically like the epistemological basis of just like what can you actually know, and there's certain things you can know, and the things that you can know are found in this mixtape, and you build up a basis for the fact that you can epistemologically know these things for certain because of your faith in this, in the doctrines and in the unifying principles of this mixtape. And I think to systematize it, what you said about fighting all the zombies and the creepers and not doing so alone, but doing it with friends and building these bonds and these relationships, and you apply that to what I said about like setting goals and seeing them and just like keeping your eye on the prize and making a plan to get there. I'm seeing what you're saying about the creepers and the skeletons and the spider. It's spiritual warfare, on your way to get to that prize. You've got your dream, you're making that plan. Not all things go to plan, unfortunately, in this life. There's a lot of spiritual warfare that gets in the way. And especially if you're living in the darkness, because that's where they can spawn. And so that's a thing to watch out for. You learn a lot of lessons. And so, you're just really putting all this together. And, I just want, it's early, like we're not ending yet, but I just want to thank you for Joe for exploring these concepts with me, with our viewers, with our legion of fans, because I just think that they'll really get a lot out of this conversation,
Yeah, there's a lot to be had, also with the Steve's plan, like you said, the darkness that we're in, which is where monsters spawn, and then going off of that, even, I know every single point we say is building, but that's just true. That's just the reality of it, because everything is so, perfect and holy and almighty. Going off of that, one thing I've learned in my friends, that if you place torches in areas, monsters are less likely to spawn there, because the torches provide light. Like, they make it lit. And that's a Minecraft strategy, but it's also something I learned from my Minecraft friends, like in our Christian Minecraft server, something that they taught me and something I do constantly. Like, every time I make a house, I always put torches outside. So even it's a simple thing, but this kind of, friendship and everything you gain and everything you learn in the Sus Squad family, or in the Minecraft mixtape faith that we have here, it's just super interesting. And it's actually really interesting, and it makes me want to it makes me want to hang out with my friends even more. So that's cool,
dude. Definitely, yeah. So I think that's rad. But yeah, man, we're 3 songs away from the end. We have the blocks left to talk about, we have the creeper left to talk about, and then Meet Yo Minecrafter featuring Galaxy Goats, as in the Minecraft parody.
The Galaxy Goats,
Galaxy Goats. That's, this is what we have left. 3 songs. But, in a way, I think that all of these songs are actually connected. It's like a trilogy, if you will. A lot of albums they end with trilogies. Maybe not a lot, but I can think of several. You think about something like the In the Wake of Poseidon album by King Crimson, the Devil's Triangle towards the end. Things like this. It's just kind of like an epic.
And everything builds up to this. This epic, like you said.
Yeah, and I think the way that I kind of see the process going on is when I hear the blocks, I see this as like, bring all the heavy stuff that we've been talking about, Lazuli Dreams and Steve's Plan, and you bring all that together and you reduce it back down to the fundamentals. And it's another one of those moments where it just kind of rips the rug out from under you. And you're just reminded that we're all cells and we're all particles. We're all physical particles with physical properties, and we're all just fizzing in this big universe together. And it's very unifying. And then when you hear a song like Creeper, you hear the story of a lowly and lonely creeper who spawns and is originally not able to fulfill its purpose because when it spawns next to the Steve just ends up running away. And so the creeper knows that it's going to despawn. And so it feels despondent because it's despawning. Yeah, definitely. And obviously, like, I can relate to that, Sometimes, like, in my life, like, in the past, I felt like I had no purpose. Like, why did I, to use a Minecraft term, why did I spawn here on this earth? Like, what is my meaning? And so I've felt that despondent feeling too. Like, I wish I could despawn myself. But, like, I just don't think that would be responsible. To despawn myself, because I was spawned here for like a reason. And like my despondence pushed me into a spawn that was worthy of my spawning ship and like my calling, you could say. And so I got into this Minecraft mixtape stuff, right? And I really kind of turned my life upside down. And so like I used to, really relate to the creeper who just really felt like it didn't have a purpose. And then, okay, let's talk about this. You listen later in the song, The Creeper, and he's realizing a purpose that he had when, he was going to attack the Steve, but then the Steve ends up killing the creeper, and the creeper never even gets to explode. So just imagine being a creeper with all that pent-up despondency from knowing that you're only spawning just to despawn. And then, like, your response to despawning is to only spawn again, to not even to really have spawned in the first place because you never even got to explode. So like your purpose in life is to explode a Steve and blow up a bunch of blocks. But when a Steve kills you without you even exploding, just like the heartbreakingness of that, like not only do you not get to live your purpose, but you come so close only to just like fail so epically like a noob. And like that all comes together because like what does that do? Like whenever you're, metaphorically we're talking about with Minecraft things, but like you apply it to real life, and what does that do? Like you only end up supporting the one who has found their purpose, the Steve, right? The Steve who we've kind of been looking through the lens of a Steve throughout this entire Minecraft mix, exploring life. And then you get to the creeper who's looking at the Steve like, wow, that guy found a purpose in his life. And guess what happens when the creeper dies without exploding?
Isn't there like with what he drops or?
Yeah, there's a mob drop, and that occasionally happens where not only does he give experience orbs to the Steve, he also drops gunpowder. And so it gives the one with a purpose, the Steve, the one with an epistemological framework of like exploring life and like looking around and seeing beauty and seeing and just finding inner peace. It gives that person more. And so it's not just that a person who doesn't embrace the Minecraft mixtape philosophy, it's not just that they're neutral to it. there are two ways that you can go with this. You can either approach toward the Minecraft philosophy, or you can go away from the Minecraft philosophy. There is absolutely no neutral. And I think a lot of people have tricked themselves and lied to themselves, even over the course of their entire lives, years and years and years. They've lied to themselves, telling themselves that they don't need this philosophy. To be happy. They lie to themselves, and they say, they look at themselves in the mirror, and they just see sadness, but they lie to themselves and they say, I'm okay. You're really not okay unless you're on our side of this thing. Like, we're the ones who are okay, and you are the ones who are not. And that's where it all comes together, right? Because you have the blocks, it reduces it down to the fundamentals, and it really helps you get a grasp. And then you see the creeper who goes up against the Steve, and the Steve is this Minecrafter who takes on the creeper and defeats the creeper. And so this Minecraft philosophy is really prevailing. And then you get to a song like Meet Yo Minecrafter, where eventually you become just enveloped in this Minecraft philosophy. It becomes everything about who you are, to where you even develop a new title. You are a Minecrafter. And so you say to your enemies of any kind, whether it be a spiritual enemy or like a bully at school, you see them as lesser and you see yourself as greater. And this perspective propels you forward to engage in literal combat with anything that you don't like. And, man, like, this is just really something to embrace. Like, meet yo Minecrafter. That's what I say to other people, because I'm the Minecrafter. I will literally go to school and someone will say, you talk funny. And I'll go to them and I'll push my finger in their face and I'll say, meet yo Minecrafter. And like, it's never gone poorly. The only thing that has ever happened every single time I did that is it encouraged positivity, because people started laughing. And that is exactly what the world needs, is positivity. Like, we can all unify in this positivity. And I think really that's the message that I get essentially from all three songs as a whole. Now, of course, these three songs can be further explored. And I don't know if you want to do that. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do with these three songs, just kind of tie it up in a nice bow. But like, I was wondering if you had anything.
Well, that was like the best thing I've ever heard, like claps. I guess the only thing I was going to add is that when I say meet yo Minecrafter, well, again, clapping, but I literally go up to my enemies at school and I say, meet yo Minecrafter. And then they laugh at me. And sometimes, like, I literally get beat up by these people, but that's their manifestation of their positive energy, is something that they use to, hey, there it is, the clapping. Wait, so it's gonna be meet yo Minecrafter. Yes.
I think I'll do that next time.
What?
I think I'll do that next time. Whenever anyone comes up to me and says, hey, you smell like an idiot, then I'll clap and I'll say, meet yo Minecraft.
You have to clap.
And I'll just watch everybody laugh, and just the most positivity ever.
Oh yeah, it is. And like, the thing is, like, you think obviously like people hurting each other in the name of Minecraft is like a bad thing, but like, it's really not, because that's their, their own struggle. Like, every time a kid like every time a kid like literally tells me to like kill myself, like, I think that's great, because he's communicating his ideas to me in a way that is interesting. And even if it's not the most encouraging thing, it means something to him, because this allows, like, and otherwise he may not be able to tell me what he really thinks and what's real in the world. You have to tell it like it is, and like that's the thing.
Experience.
It literally is.
And like you can't tell someone that they're wrong. Like,
yeah, because that's their experience.
Yeah, like truth is totally subjective, and that's like the thing. That's like really the hinge-pin that like holds all of Minecraft philosophy together, is that there is no philosophy and there is no truth. And that, like, someone telling someone else, like, like most people would find that incredibly offensive, like what you were describing, like these kids who tell you that online playing Minecraft, like most people would find that so deeply, like they would say, wow, that's incredibly offending. And then like they would go all over the place to try to find a safe space. And let me just say this, in a climate right now where we have coronavirus rampant in our universe, and we don't know the reaches in the universe that coronavirus has expanded to yet. Just because like we don't have any current contact with extraterrestrial life. That's the only reason we don't know. I mean, we don't. Let's just think about the things we don't know about coronavirus. But anyway, with the outbreak of this coronavirus, what safe space are you going to find for your triggeredness? Like whenever you find something offensive, where are you going to go? And the like just expressing these things to other people, like if that's true for them, if somebody tells me, just kill myself or something, like that's true for you, you can tell me that. And it's not true for me because I'm alive, because I've embraced this Minecraft mixtape, like I'll never die. I'll literally just live forever. That's the philosophy, man. And I believe that, so it's true, right? And I know that you believe that.
Oh, absolutely. And like if someone were to tell me to kill myself, my response is like, instead of getting upset or thinking that's insensitive, I would say, well, that may not be true for me, but that's true for you. And who am I to take away your experience or your knowledge based on the environment you've been in, based on what you've taken from in your journey through life. Like I can't tell someone they're wrong, because like that's getting offended is actually what offends people, because you're taking everything they say the wrong way. Like when I wear my Minecraft merch to school and people beat me up for it, like, that's just their interpretation of what they think is right. And while I may not agree with them, I need them to continue to communicate with me in that way, because it's important. I think that's one thing Meet Yo Minecraft really nails home, because for you it's a win-win, because if you say Meet Yo Minecrafter and they agree with you, then that's good, because like they agree with you and it's fine. But if you say Meet Yo Minecrafter and they shove you in a locker or something, like that's just part of how that they that's what's true for them and what's meaningful and useful to them, and you can't do anything about that. And you shouldn't feel bad for that, because accepting them in that way is the best thing you can do as a human and as an individual. Like like you said, all truth is subjective. There's no real truth. There's no morality. There's no backbone to anything. The only thing we have left is this, which this is the most crucial thing you'll ever learn, and everyone needs to hear it. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
I think that is the true secret of the hidden track at the end of the album.
Yes.
The whole album is so consistent in theme, and like with just like lyrics with such depth about the experience of Minecraft. But then you get to the end of the Meet Yo Minecrafter track, and then there's a pause, but then it fades in with this song that feels so uncharacteristic for the album. But I think that's the secret of it. I think that's the beauty of it. It's just such like a richness, like it's just like, wow. Like at the same time as it being so rich, it's also like incredibly simple. And it's just like, it's just the perfect thing to end something off with. It's like whenever you read a good book and then it says the end at the end, that's how you know. Like if they wouldn't have told me it was the end, maybe my mind would just be like racing all night long to try to figure out, what did the cat actually do with the hat? Like for example, but these books, they say the end, like Green Eggs and Ham, what if you just made more green eggs and ham at the end of the book? Like, but there's an end, and I think that's such an interesting concept. Like there is an end, but we know that we'll never end, because we'll never stop living, because our lives will go on, and our souls, these things, they just go on, man. And I just I just think there's a lot of truth to embrace, just really hard, solid truth that's really built on a foundation. And that foundation is really comfortable. It's kind of like a cloud. It's like it's there, but it's not there. And like if you're on that cloud, like you kind of fall through it. And it's that sensation of falling that I find so comforting, because if you're in a constant state of falling, then that really is a foundation, because you always know that you're going to be falling.
Yeah. And like you said, there is an end, but to us there is no end, as we go on forever because of our Minecraft, our Minecrafter souls. But like that's also like that's proof that again there is no absolute truth. Like, everything is just like I don't even know, I don't know, guys, but that's why we have this mixtape to guide us through. And yeah, the end song is just so satisfying, and how just the only word it says in the song is just Minecraft, because at the end of the day, at the end of all time itself, all you have is Minecraft, because that's the most important thing there is, and that's everything that we relate our souls to. So
and that's one thing that we all have in common. Like, this is true of every single person. And it's so solid that it's true. It's just so factual. Like, you can really build your house on this foundation of just pure truth. And because we all have it in common, just that there is this inevitable end, but at the same time, there's no end at all. Like, this truth, and it's proclaimed with that one final message of unity at the end of the album, with the chorus of vocals saying
Minecraft, yep.
It's your final taste of the
album. That's it.
And then it obviously will loop and start back over.
Yeah, and then you just hear the whole thing again.
It's the end of the album, but it's also not. It's the start of the beginning, because we go on forever, and that's the thing. There's an end, but there's no end. And so it's just this concept that oh wow, man. And
it's perfect.
This is all truth, man.
Yeah, it's
wow.
How do we even conclude this video at this point with every single thing we've said?
I don't know, guys. Comment down below about how we should end this video. Otherwise, we'll probably never figure it out.
Yeah, we may even be recording for I don't even know, guys. Comment down below your thoughts and what you like most about Minecraft, and your favorite songs and your favorite idea. And make sure you subscribe to your boy's channel, the MTV, because
TV.
no, the FaZe Clan MTV,
right?
Because that's obviously the name of the channel.
Yeah.
And listen to this. And make sure we can get that.
People don't know that I was really formerly in FaZe Clan.
Oh, bro, that's a whole nother video right there.
Yeah, dude. Maybe I will make that video. Sorry, Rice Gum. Sorry, FaZe Rug. Shout out to all my gamers.
This one goes out to all my gamers.
Yeah,
for real,
dude. If there's anybody I want to see this video, it's gamers who play Minecraft.
Dude, honestly, that's the best thing ever. If you're a gamer who plays Minecraft, you're automatically my best friend. When I'm listening to PewDiePie going hard on his Minecraft track, and I'm playing with someone who yeah, but and that's a whole other conversation because that's his song. But when I hear that, and that
on the future video,
right, we should comment down below which Minecraft song you want us to discuss next. Because even if it's not on the mixtape, this will be cool. But when I find someone who is a gamer who plays Minecraft, who also likes a song, and who unironically likes Minecraft songs in general, that's something I think is just the best thing. So make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I don't have my own channel because I'm a loser and I don't make videos, but I still like music and Minecraft, I guess. And discs, obviously, because that's cool. Anything else?
Um, 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 um,